Welcome to the fifth or sixth edition of The Seven. I don't know if this is the fifth or the sixth or the fourth or the fifth. At any rate, we are here every Sunday night at 8 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock-ish Eastern, 7 Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. It is good to have you guys in this evening. Tonight's topic, we are going to discuss whether or not it is too late for American women to be turned into quality women. Women of quality, women who are worth committing to. And we're going to do it by age. We're going to start in the 40s because we know that women in their 40s still think their shit don't stink because dudes steady trying to fuck these broads. So we're going to put them on blast. And who knows? Maybe there's a dissenter on the panel who says, you know what, Donovan? I think that a woman in her 40s, I think thoughts in their 40s can be rehabilitated. And then we will proceed to make fun of that person. Then we're gonna go into the 30s. Then we'll go into the 20s. Then we'll go into the teens, because I think a lot of these guys hold out hope that, listen, man, maybe our teenage girls can rid themselves of this feminist sewage. At any rate, guys, welcome to the show. I'm going to introduce tonight's esteemed panel. And oh, by the way, just so you guys know, if you support one of us, you support all of us, guys. If you super chat us, it gets split evenly. 7 or 6 ways, because Steve never takes any money from me or anybody. It's going to be split 6 ways. So if you support one of us, you support all of us. So we certainly appreciate that. And at the conclusion of this broadcast, this episode will not be on this channel. I'm not leaving them anywhere near YouTube. Now, I'm going to send all the copies of the video to the panel. I think some of you guys are going to upload it to your YouTube channel. Some of you guys are going to upload it to your Patreons, whatever the case may be. You guys can do with it what you wish. But I'm going to take this down off of YouTube, and it will be up on Patreon tomorrow. So if you are a patron of mine, you will get both the video and the audio version of episode 4, 5, or 6 of The Seven. So before we get into this, let us get to today's esteemed panel. First up, founder of themanmindset.com, Steve the Dean Williams. Steve, how's it going, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Absolutely, man. And I think that you can definitely speak to this because as hardcore as you are, I think you're probably a little bit more optimistic than people might give you credit for. So I'll be interested. It'll be very, very interesting to see your take on that. Next up, the king of New York City. No, I'm not talking about Big. I'm talking about Mr. Lucario. How's it going, brother?
What up? What's going on? How you doing, man? How's everybody doing?
Man, I can't call it, man. It's like 90. It's 567 degrees here in Philadelphia. I know it's a hot roll down tonight. Jesus Christ. Next up, the fittest man in the manosphere, Mr. Myron, 5% body fat gains. What's going on, Myron?
What's up, everybody? Sorry, Swan. I just finished doing a workout. I'm dying right now. It's gonna be a good topic, though.
Bro, listen, he was doing push-ups while we were waiting for dudes, right? We're like, all right, waiting for solo. All right, let me get 5. Let me get a set of push-ups in.
I have to get one more set in. You know what I'm saying? Nope, no pecs, no sex.
Wow, I like that. Next up, pardon me, the ordained minister of the streets out of Chicago, Mr. Minister Japp. What's going on, brother?
Man, blessings to you, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Of course. Love to have you on. And I think you're gonna be doing some cooking tonight on these here hoes. And by hoes, I mean HEAUX YouTube algorithm. Hose. Next up, in Minneapolis, Minnesota, we call that the Pinkfoot Paradise, the Snow Bunny, the Snow Bunny Oasis. The man in the middle of all of that is Solo TV 84. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's good, guys? Glad to be back on. Let's get it.
Absolutely, this is going to be a good one for you as well. And of course, last but not least, the best dressed man in the manosphere who isn't at. Oh, there he is, just in time. Dude, listen, man, Kevin's suit game gets better every time. I remember the very first episode, Kevin had like 3 wardrobe changes. It was crazy. And now he's in here in a clean white suit. What's going on, Kevin?
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Nice.
So thinking you can fix a lot of these American women is a fantasy.
Oh my God. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I think that's probably why he wore but you're not going to do the plane thing, right?
No, that's for a shorter dude. I'm good.
Good stuff, man.
I'm about to start turning my camera off, bro. Kevin is embarrassing all of us.
I swear to God.
I just keep my camera off, man.
I'm sitting here in a tank top, and this dude is in a
Hey, but if we turn our cameras off, we're going to be just like the nobody.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Big
Nobody with a lot of opinions and a lot of games. See, we had the strength and the courage to show what we really were out here. So
Real talk.
Never will we ever hide our face from this game. So
I do not have respect for anybody who talks a lot. Listen, if you have a strong opinion, cool. If you have a strong opinion but hide your face, get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't have time for that nonsense.
You don't count.
We can talk tough, man. Fuck that. Cam Gibson with the $10 super chat said, shout out Steve Rich behind and big dog Myron Gaines. Appreciate that $10 super chat.
Thank you, brother.
Red Sings the Blues, $10 super chat says, if a man submits power, it's not too late for a woman at any age. But if he doesn't, it will always be too late. But it all matters on the man giving or channeling his power in commitment. We will come back to that because I disagree with that, but I appreciate the super chat anyway. Cam Gibson with another $5 super chat says, Godfather game got me to almost double my income at 20 years old, 60 hours minimum. Wow. Way to go, man. So he's certainly doing the listen, he certainly got his finances in order. Good to see that. So let us talk. Like, hell, let's discuss this right here. So Red Sings the Blues says if a man submits power, it's not too late for a woman at any age. Obviously, he says, but if he doesn't, it will always be too late. That's very profound, but very wrong. And the reason I say this, and again, we appreciate the super chat. In my opinion, there is a line of demarcation for women, and I don't think it has anything to do with her age, at least not in the beginning. And here's what I mean by that. If a virginal girl at 18 years old has sex with one guy and they break up, okay, listen, she can still be wife material, right? If she has sex with another guy, they break up, she can still be wife material, right? Just, not as good as the virgin. When she gets to 5 guys, okay, now she's teetering on the edge. Listen, she's still salvageable, but she is on that line. As soon as girls sleep with guy number 10, it is all over. Because you want to know something? If they sleep with 10 guys, they're going to sleep with 510 guys. So it's not really about a woman's age. It is about her notch count. Her notch count is probably one of the biggest factors, if not the biggest factor, in determining whether or not a woman can be salvaged to be a relationship material. So I'm going to go around the panel here. Steve, I'm going to come to you first because you've been married for over 20 years. What is the line? Is there a line where women cross? Is there a point of no return for women? If not, how do you reel them back in?
Well, to me, the point of no return is disrespect of all things. That's the point of no return. If she's not following my lead and she's not following what I expect her to do, there's no point of return. If any type of disrespect, any kind of drama, any kind of anything negative, there's no point of return. That's it. Yeah.
So as soon as she disrespects you one time, that's a wrap.
Well, not one time because because they're going to do a shit test. You know what I mean? Right. They're going to see, are you real gold or are you fool's gold? They're going to bite the gold to see what you are. It's just after that happens and they try it again, you're going. I don't. It's just too many women out here for me to sit around and worry about what trying to go to Dr. Phil or marriage counseling over some bullshit.
Yeah, fuck that.
that was put together very well. Yes,
very well said, Steve. Mr. Lucario, I want your opinion on this. Is there a point of no return for women in terms of potential quality female? Is it a notch count number? Is it an age? Is there a point of no return? Can women be salvaged?
It depends, because see, the point of no return usually is based off of the actual quality or type of men she's been with. So I think a lot of guys thinks it's the sex or the notch count. Mm-hmm. It's more so who is the notch count. You know what I'm saying? So basically, if a woman is who is the notch count and who is she with now? So basically, if let's say a woman had sex with 30 dudes, right? And let's say 28 of those dudes was like on point. You understand what I'm saying? They were dudes whose game was on point. They taught her some things, right? She's able to still deal with a guy. You understand what I'm saying? And respect them and do what you got to do. Now, if 28 of those guys was on some BS, right? Then what's going to happen is that her relationship to men is fucked up. So she may not be salvageable because she's too far gone. You see what I'm saying? But what happens is that based off the actual guy she's with at the moment, based off of his game, she's going to be able to cooperate with that guy based off his game. This is why, for example, you could have a pimp who can deal with like a stripper or a chick in the life, and she'll be cooperative to him versus a square dude who she'll run all over him. You understand what I'm saying? So she got a whole bunch of notch counts, and she's been doing whatever she does. But one guy's able to get her to cooperate. One guy's able to not. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that makes perfect sense, and I've never thought of it that way.
Right.
And here's what I learned something every day when I talk to you guys. What Mr. Lucario just said, in essence, is not all bodies are created equally in terms of the men that have sex with these women, right? If a woman has a string of one night stands with a bunch of ain't shit niggas, then guess what? She shit, right? But if she has a string of relationships, I guess, with high caliber, high value men, don't get me wrong, that's not good that she has a high body count, but it's almost like highway miles versus city miles, right? You want a girl with highway miles rather than city miles. Those are obviously a little more rough. Very well put. I've never thought of it that way. Myron, what are your thoughts on the point of no return? Is there a point of no return, notch count wise, age wise? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say it like as you for the new viewers in here. I live in Miami, guys. So this is how I do it. I basically assume, and I know Solo's gonna agree with me on this. She belongs to the streets until proven otherwise. And the reality is, I think a lot of guys go into it thinking like, oh, I really hope she's this way or whatever. And the thing is that when you go into it with that mindset, you're gonna hope and have perceptions, and you're gonna miss red flags that you otherwise would have been cognizant of if you had if you were aware of what the hell was going on. So I say you got to vet her, and and I'm not gonna. The thing is, I agree with Lucario. The quality of her notch count definitely matters, and then I also say the way a woman treats you is a direct reflection of how much she respects you. So you can tell, like, if a girl is whooping a dude's ass in a parking lot, right, on World Star, it's not really. I never blame it on the girl. I blame it on the guy, because that didn't start there. That's been probably months or years in progress in the working. So it's that guy's fault. A woman is only going to act the way you allow her to. And at the end of the day, you're the leader. So whatever she does is what you're tolerating. So if it's bad behavior, then that's bad on you as a leader. So I say, she belongs to my basic rule is this: she belongs to the streets until proven otherwise. And if she does meet some of these metrics of someone that's worth a possible long-term relationship, that's when you start the process of seeing if she's qualified to be trained to be your girlfriend. Because I agree with you on this, Donovan. I think everyone on the panel agrees that you have to train her to become the woman that you love and will support you, because it's got to be that way, because she's got to help you build and be a part of your empire versus the other way around. Because if it's the other way around, it just doesn't work. You can't defer to a woman's authority. She's got to defer to yours for her to stay attracted to you.
Dude, this guy is the most underrated dude in the manosphere, man.
Thank you, guys.
Dude, every time he talks. Let me quickly get to these super chats before I get to Jap, Solo, pardon me, and Kevin. So, Legend of Salmonia with a $2 super chat says, peace to the chat and salute to the 7. Appreciate that super chat. Quarantino de God says, I agree with Lucario that the last 5 men she slept with didn't do anything for her to benefit her life/status. She's for the streets. Okay, you got some people that are close on that. CGA, Coach Greg Adams says she's never yours, it's your turn. No, actually, Coach Greg Adams did not say that. Donovan Sharpe said that 5.5 years ago in his very first introduction. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Okay, so Jap, what are your thoughts on, like, expound on what Myron said? She is for the streets until proven otherwise. In other words, I'm going to treat you like a hoe until you prove to me that you're not to be treated like a hoe. What's your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I always tell guys on my channel all the time, lower your expectations because you'll never be disappointed. You know what I mean? So if I'm expecting you to be a hoe, you know what I mean? If she becomes a hoe, I can't be disappointed. But what I wanted to talk about was this body count aspect of the game that we're talking about. And I don't want to come at it from a religious standpoint, but I want guys to understand that women absorb men. And I know this to be a fact because there are women right now who I have dealt with, who have dealt with me for the years that they have encountered with me, who are on another man's watch right now, and they still adhere to my dietary regimen based on my religious preference. Women that you may have inherited, they tend to absorb the niggas that they were dealing with before you. And that's why it's very, very important to understand the type of guys this bitch fucks with raw, because protected dicks don't really count. The raw dick does. And that is what she absorbs. the behaviors, the mannerisms, everything. If she, like, you're dealing with another man's project when you inherit her, and a lot of guys don't take time to examine that. A lot of these women are just what another man molded her to be, and unfortunately, like we said with that body count thing, yeah, there, high body count is it is a red flag, but raw body count is a totally different thing, because that's the motherfucker she loves. That's the motherfucker that she, will kill, die for, and acts like. You know what I mean? And a lot of these guys understand, like, these women ride or die for these braggedy, dirty dick, Rodney niggas that was in their life that was doing them dirty, but they was wronging them. Now, they had casual sex, and a lot of women can walk away from casual sex, but your average woman cannot just walk away from raw, passionate sex.
Right.
And the men that they were having the passionate sex, that's the men that they obey and they act accordingly to. So a lot of times you're like, man, that might have been that guy's program.
Right. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Listen, that makes all the sense in the world. And I think what we have to understand, and we all know, I think we're all familiar with the concept of alpha widow. And basically an alpha widow is a woman who always pines for that one guy that she'll never get over. It doesn't matter if she's in a relationship, if she's married, if she's fucking dudes on the side. If that dude calls her, she is going to go fuck that guy because she'll do anything for him. So I think in a lot of cases, a lot of times these women are for the streets. They get alpha widowed by the wrong dudes. Like, it's better to be alpha widowed by a dude with class than an ain't shit nigga living in the hood. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that's where
I heard that term, alpha widow.
Well, that's what it is, man. It's like she hooks up, dude. It could be a relationship, it could be casual, but it's the highest value man she's ever been with, and that guy is the bar for every other guy. She compares him to everybody else. That's the alpha widow, and I think a lot of times women are being alpha widowed by the wrong men, which makes them for the streets. I think that's
facts. That's 100% true. I mean, I just want to touch on that real quick, because I've dated a few girls, man, that have been with celebrities, athletes, rappers, etc. And what happens is they basically they deal with these guys, but these guys see them nothing more than like a sexual object, right? Because they got so many other girls. But that girl thinks, oh wow, like this is the caliber guy that I can get, and it kind of ruins it hurts her ability to deal with normal dudes after that. You know what I'm saying? Because she's gonna hold the next guys up to that standard. And let's face it, most guys can't rise to that level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to date a girl that used to mess with Future, and I'm not saying I made a hit song or anything like that, but obviously the bar was set. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I was able to do that Future does is say, bitch, don't get too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reality. But all jokes aside, guys, like, the thing is that a lot of these attractive girls, especially if you live in a major city like New York City, Vegas, LA, Miami, etc., these girls have probably rubbed elbows or been with or hung out with or even hooked up with a super high value male, right? And that definitely changes their perspective on the marketplace. And that's why the average guy is having such a hard time finding a counterpart nowadays, because a lot of girls are hooking up with really high value guys. And it's just that it's not out there. You know what I mean? Until you really get in the world and you deal with these very attractive girls, you're not going to find out. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I was going to say, just to add on.
This is a very good question for Solo and Kevin. So I'm going to come to you first with this, Solo. Based on what Myron just said, I'll actually frame it to you like this, because I agree with Myron. I think that whatever value a guy is that a girl dates, she always thinks she deserves the highest value guy that she's dated, fucked, had sex with. A very good friend of mine has a girlfriend who has fucked Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. Real fucking talk, 100%. And guys, this chick is a badass bitch for real. You get girls out here that fuck with these celebrities and these guys with a lot of clout, and just like Myron said, they think, well, hell, if I can fuck him once, then I deserve a relationship with a Vin Diesel type motherfucker. And that's not how it works. So in your opinion, Solo, do you think that ruins girls? Like, they go super high? It's almost like bacon. You put bacon on a sandwich, you can never not have bacon again. You fly first class, you can never not fly first class again. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, this is a concept, Donovan, I've talked about, you've talked about, the concept of how women conflate their sexual market value with their marriage market value, right?
Facts.
Relationship market value. So, for example, for those guys who don't get it, a woman's sexual market value, she could be a 5, but guess what? A guy who's a Chad, Brad, or Tyrone, or in the upper echelon, like a Vin Diesel or like a Paul Walker, if he might be in a rough patch, he might bunker buster the chick, right? But marriage market value, a guy like Vin Diesel or Paul Walker, they're not going to marry a 5. And this is the main issue a lot of women are having, especially when they go on these dating apps like Tinder, right? Where they might be a high value guy's booty call for the night or side piece, but then they think that because they get bunker busted by that guy, now they have the right to marry the guy like that or snag him as a boyfriend. And real quick, Donovan, I remember one time I was at a bar in my area and I overheard 2 women talking about how they were getting pumped and dumped, right? And so I kind of interjected myself in the conversation. I'm like, I'm curious, what type of guys are you dealing with? So then they were showing me their Tinder app and the type of guys they were dealing with. And I looked at them straight up and said, the problem is you girls are dealing with men out of your league, out of your level. You feel me? And what I mean by that is I don't mean like out of their league that they can't deal with these men on the sexual place, but these women wanted to lock down these type of guys. And they were like 6s at 7s at best. And they're messing with these guys that are like, one was like a amateur, athlete and whatnot and stuff like that. So women conflate those two. And I think another thing Unplugged fits it that's highly underrated. He says a woman is only going to act a way that the man allows, right? And so a lot of women, once they get to a certain age or point of how many, bananas they've gobbled up, as you would say, Donovan, that's the point of no return. And that's the point we'll be touching on here on today's show.
Very good.
Solo speaking facts, man.
Yeah, real talk, man. Let me shout out a couple of super chats. Red Pill Mike had a $20 super chat. I'm going to come back to that because I want to go around the panel on that. But let me shout these out. Francis Anamage says stopping by to pay tuition. Thanks to Donovan and the 7 for the awesome content. We greatly appreciate that. Merciless 6 says when chicks say, "Oh, he don't count," what does that mean? He hit it twice. Does a chick's version of a drought mean smash and whack dudes? That's exactly what that means. That's what he wants you to think. I haven't been and I say this all the time, I haven't been in a relationship in 6 years. Translation, you spent the last 6 years getting smashed and dashed. That's all that was.
Back the mundo.
Ryan Sullivan, long time no see, with a $10 super chat. Says, by the way, who invented the idea of relationship market value? I first heard it from Donovan. Did you invent it? I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But what Solo said was spot on. And women always make this mistake. Just because he wants to fuck you does not mean he wants to commit. Listen, man, Paul Walker, the late Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, I'll fucking smash hoes until they're blue in the fucking face. They're not putting a ring on no hoes, man. Like, fuck that. Get out of here with that. That's where women go wrong, is they think they conflate sexual attention with commitment attention, and that's why they get frustrated. So let me go back to let me come to Kevin with this, and then we'll go to Red Pill Mike's question. So, Kevin, do you believe that there is a point of no return for women? If so, is it the age? Is it the body count? Is it a combination of two? Or is there no point of no return?
This is one of those kind of questions.
Right?
Huh? Because here's the thing. I could say body count, but then I know high caliber escorts who squared up and become stepwives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, you start looking, but they only dealt with a high caliber of clientele, kind of like what the guys were saying about. It's the kind of guy you mess with more than anything else. But I do think there is a component for the average woman. Now the average woman, I think it has a lot to do with her age more than anything else. Because what I'm seeing a lot, man, is once they get into what I call when they start getting into that danger zone. That 27 to 35, that's that danger zone. Once they cross out of the danger zone, man, they're in no man's land. From 35 to over, it's pretty much a wrap. See, the caliber of dude you kicked it with has something to do with it, but human beings, by our nature, we are looking for consistency and we try to sit into patterns, and they're pretty much stuck into a pattern until they decide to change. No different than an alcoholic or an addict. They know what's going on. If they decide to have a moment of clarity that they want to do something about it, is it possible to change? Yeah, but is it probable? No.
Kevin, I think that you and Lucario, this is something I have never, and guys, I've been in the game forever. I've fucked, dude, hundreds of girls and all this and that. I have never, ever thought, I thought that a body was a body. If a girl fucked 20 guys, she's a hoe. But here's the thing. You guys are putting me up on game in terms of the quality of men. If the average, let's just call it relationship market or value, right? We take girls on their looks. If she's a 10, she's a fucking smoke show. If she's a 1, she's ugly, right? Let's say that the average woman, the caliber of guy she usually sleeps with is between a 6 and a 7. A lot of those guys ain't shit. Ain't got no job, no goals, no nothing. But then you got your high-level escort who can turn themselves into Stepford wives and be good wives. Why? Because the only men they slept with are super high-value men, CEOs, business owners, fourth-generation business owners. So it's almost like she's not dating laterally, she's marrying laterally, and she knows how to act, having dealt with the high caliber of men.
Donovan, you got to understand, what did the woman absorb?
Right.
The woman absorbs the energy to the man that she deal with. So the guys that she's been coming around, she absorbed every level of that game. So if you get a bitch that was fucking with nothing but street niggas, on a level, and you are a square motherfucker on some corporate shit, and you like, this motherfucker's fine, she just happened to be in the right spot at the right time. That the past that she has, that she's absorbed, is going to conflict with what you are.
Man, I've never thought of that, dude.
See, they absorb us. Like, it's a lot of women still have my talking points with other guys.
Right.
We rub off. What I'm saying, we rub off on these bitches.
Right. Well, this is the thing, though. I agree with what Jap is saying, but a chick doesn't absorb every guy, though. It's only a certain. So a woman could have been with, she could have had 100 body count and only absorbed one dude. You understand what I'm saying? Out of those 100. Because, for example, what you got to understand is that a woman is going to absorb who had the most impact or who was with her,
and that's why I said that's why I said certain the raw dick counts for the most part.
But she could also
a lot of the niggas that she one and done, and just to protect the shit, that motherfucker she was sitting down being intimate with, he's within her still.
Right. Well, the thing is this: you got to look at it like this. Let's say, for example, if you go to London for a weekend, you're not going to have a London accent. But if you stay in London for maybe a year, you'll probably pick up a London accent. So it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? She's going to pick up and absorb who she's been with the longest and who she had the most impact. So this is why when dudes say, oh, she had a body count of 50, it don't really matter. If there was 49 guys who is one night stands and it was like whatever, it don't matter. Especially, let's say, for example, there was bad sex. Half of them was bad sex. It don't matter. So the thing is that what she can absorb, and this is where the girl is at the point of no return, is if a woman is absorbing energy from a lot of guys who either treated her like shit, or guys who weren't shit. So then she becomes ain't shit. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. You see what
I add something to this?
Wait.
I don't know if you guys have ever actually studied the actual mechanics of the female orgasm. But what you guys just outlined is the man who can actually make a woman orgasm when she does not want to. A woman is designed to absorb, take in a guy who delivers basically what you guys are talking about. That's what we're really talking about, because there are women who can sit there and have sex with a dude and they'll come. There's women who can sit there and have sex with a dude, play with themselves and come. But there are women who fuck the right dude and she cannot want to. And he will make her have the deepest orgasm. And what is that? What does her body do? It reaches out to pull him into her. The mechanics of the orgasm it does everything to absorb that man. So, and only certain guys can do that with women.
Listen, I agree, and I think, and I want to make it clear to our audience: nobody is saying that a girl who's fucked 200 guys is going to be a quality woman. Listen,
No.
listen, a girl can fuck 200 high value guys. Guess what? She's still a lost fucking cause. However, I think that at a certain point, it really becomes more about the quality of bodies. Don't get me wrong. A girl who has slept with 5 guys is going to be a better potential long-term partner than a girl who slept with 55 guys. But somewhere in there, the quality, the value of these men, the way they treat her, the way they see life, I think that matters. I've never, ever thought of it that way. Myron, you said you had something.
Yeah, I just want to. So for the guys that don't know, I grew up in a Muslim household, man, and I grew up Muslim. I'm a crappy Muslim, I will admit that. But obviously, there's some things in the Islamic faith that are very important. And one of the things is your wife has got to typically it's shunned upon if your wife is older than you, and you want to marry her when she's fairly young. And obviously, virginity is like a requirement, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason why those things are in place is because if a woman is young and she's a virgin, she's going to be more apt to follow your programming, and she's going to be she's going to defer to your authority more. What I've noticed is that I'm not saying a girl that has a 50 notch count and 30 years old can't be a great wife, but what I am saying is that her chances of being one significantly decrease compared to when she was 18 and had a notch count of 0. So, so I'm not saying like, oh, you can't like take a girl and make a wife out of it like that. Maybe if your training is on point, she sees you as super high value, she will 100% conform to your programming. But your time is probably better invested in a younger woman that is more impressionable to your leadership. Yes. Because the thing is that older girls, because I've dated both, they're going to be much more combative on your programming because a lot of them, I'm just going to say it, have bad habits. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That they've learned over years and years and years that they don't want to necessarily change. And the thing is that it's subconscious, like little things. Like one of the tests I have is girl comes over and she eats something or she like drinks something. If she doesn't wash her dishes after, I already know. Now she probably belongs to the streets. So you know what I'm saying? And it's just like little things like that. And I'm not saying like, oh, every girl needs to be a homemaker. But what I am saying is that if she's going to expect me to have that masculine burden of performance, aka protect her when some shit goes down, because let's make no mistake about it. If someone breaks into the house, she's going to look at me and say, you're going to deal with that? I'm not going to look at her and say, oh no, we're equal. You handle this one. Like, no. So she needs to be able to adhere to her feminine burden of performance. It's just that we live in a society now that you're shamed as a man if you hold a woman to her feminine burden of performance versus you're still held to your masculine burden of performance. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. They want equality when it serves them, but the reality is we're inherently not equal. So that's what I would say when it comes to, a girl's propensity to be a good girl. The younger she is, the lower her notch count, the higher success rate. And the studies show it for any losers out there. Oh, you're a misogynist, Myron. Like they showed that the higher a girl's sexual partner counts, the higher the risk of divorce and an unhappy relationship. Now, does that mean that they're always correlated? No. But what I am saying is your chances are significantly better when she's younger and has a lower sexual count. That's it.
I just want to add something real quick because I can see Steve up there, and she better know how to make some eggs.
Nice. I
knew that was going to come.
He's like, no.
Steve, what you got, man?
Man, this is what I understand, and help me. Y'all gotta help me out with. Unless she's a porn star and you can see all the dick she has, how do you know what her notch count is? Because
exactly, thank you.
Right.
I don't understand what y'all talking about. All this notch count stuff is that these girls are fucking in junior high school, so how young they are doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. You don't know how many guys she's sleeping with, so there's no like you can't lift under her titty and see a number of guys that's mad. They're not going to tell you. A woman is never going to give you that information, no matter how many guys she's been with or how many she hasn't been with, unless she's a porn star. That's the only way you can see a notch count. So
and even then you don't know.
Right, even then you don't know. But I'm just saying that how do you gauge her off of her notch count when you don't even know what the notch count is?
Now, if she gives the information away, if she says the information, that's another thing.
And
we only can assume, and just like bro said, we only can assume. But I will say this:
you can't assume anything.
I would rather have a younger hoe.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Well, around here chasing dick, because that's a young bitch character. She can look like a rabbit. But the problem that we're having right now is we have old bitches hopping dicks. You know what I'm saying? No.
Listen,
As you they still have value in the game.
Listen, I will say this.
Especially if a bitch is in a profession where you know it's a lot of ding-a-ling getting thrown at her. Bartenders, strippers,
Of course.
cocktail servers, anybody in the I just know your whore.
Listen, you are 100. You and Steve are both 100% right. A woman is never, ever, ever going to tell you what her notch is. However, if you understand women, if you have enough experience with them, they will do and say things that will not give you a ballpark figure. But women who have slept with a lot of men have certain habits that other women do not, right? If a woman who has not slept with a lot of men, she's going to close the bathroom door when she pees. Believe it or not, we got hoes out here. I'm serious. Like, dude, Vegas hoes, I'm like, half of y'all fucking bitches don't ever close the goddamn door. What the fuck? And the reason why she keeps one stripper kept it real. She says, listen, the reason it call it a force of habit. I don't want to open the door and find a revolver in my face. I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, who the fuck have you been dealing with? So you're never ever going to know what a girl's notch count is. And even if she told you, multiply the number by 32 and then multiply it again by 100. But again, if you have enough experience with women, if you listen to us, we can tell you how to recognize certain traits, certain characteristics, certain habits that would imply that she's probably slept with more men than she would probably let on.
Donovan, I got a quick something to add to that.
The
You made a great point.
Too. The streets talk.
So,
yes, they do. Oh, yes.
You will find out too from the streets.
I just want to add real quick. This is why guys nowadays, you have no choice but to get out there and date women, guys. Because the problem is that you, just like Donovan said, and Steve said, 100% correct, and Jap, you're never going to know her notch count. Nope. You never will. So what you're going to have to be able to do is go on a lot of dates, understand patterns, and recognize behaviors that are conducive to promiscuous women, and make your judgment based off of your experiences and things like that. Now, I'm going to give you guys a free litmus test that I personally use.
Let's do it.
So this is what I do. If I hook up with a girl, I will purposely, and it's the first time, I won't hit her back, and I'll see if she makes contact back with me. If she makes contact back with me, that's a good sign. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because here's the thing. Even if, and that's a good sign that she's probably not promiscuous. So I'm going to say why right now. Even if the sex is mediocre, right? The reality is this. Girls that aren't promiscuous take it very seriously when they have sex with a new guy. So they're going to probably contact you again just because they made one of the biggest investments that women typically make, which is her body. So she's going to want to see that through to some extent. So she's probably going to contact you. If she doesn't contact you back, you know, again, like I said, this isn't black and white, guys. It's gray areas.
Sure.
But you can probably bet that you're just a guy on her rotation. So that's the reality, because girls run rotations too, and they do it much better than us. It's just that they're much more quiet.
The question is, what's the high notch count though? You see what I'm saying? Like, what is the actual number?
Listen, let me answer that for you. And just like Myron said, this is not an exact science, but let's just take some examples. A girl who has a sleeve tattoo has probably fucked more guys than a girl who has a wrist tattoo. Now, that might not be the case, but it's far more likely than not that the girl with the sleeve tattoo and the bull ring probably fucked a lot of guys. Here's another thing. As far as jewelry, or let's use the hair. A girl who has naturally brunette hair has probably slept with less guys than the girl with the half orange, half pink hair. And again,
has done anything other than weed.
Oh,
how much though?
Drugs, right?
That's what I want to know.
The point is this. Listen. The point is this: is that if men are paying attention, women will tell you. They're not going to tell you the exact number, but women will tell you what their notch count is just by the way they are. Their habits, their traits, and their characteristics will let you know, okay, this girl's fucked a lot of dudes. I don't know exactly how many, but she probably has. Now, there are some women out there who are very, very good at hiding their notch counts or their notch count habits, but they can't do it forever. And this is why I always tell men, never think about a long-term relationship with a woman for at least 6 months, because any girl can fake the funk for 3-4 months. They can't do it forever. Lucario, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because people say, you know, the high notch count. So I'm like, what is high? 2 people, 5 people, 50? Because the thing is, my thing is that women, they're all having sex with multiple dudes, all of them. Like 99% of women you meet have high notch counts based off of what most guys consider high. You feel what I'm saying? So the thing is that I think the whole thing about notch count is technically irrelevant because it's really still based off the guy at the end of the day, meaning either that woman is so far gone because she has mental issues because of either her own psychological shit or stuff she went through in bad relationships with men, or she's been with a lot of guys, and let's say she's been with half the guys she's been with, or it was terrible relationships, half was all right, and then when she gets to you, is your game tight enough? And I'm going back to game.
I'm with you.
To be able to get her to want to sleep with you, because the thing is with what Myra was saying with the studies is that there's actually no reputable studies that have done this, like anywhere. I've been trying to look for these. I've told people to send them to me, and it's always some guy's blog. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And I'm like, where did they do these studies? How did they count for the women who had the notch count? How do you know that they were telling, like, where are these things? And what I'm saying is, for example, I'll give you an example. My wife, we've been together for 14 years. You understand? Her notch counts high. My girl, we've been together for a year now so far. Her notch counts high. You know what I'm saying? So how am I able to pair bond with these women who have these high notch counts? You know what I'm saying?
Their race.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing, and it's funny because the way you're discussing this makes perfect sense. So let's not call it notch count. We're never going to know how many guys a girl has fucked. However, there are things out there called hoe tendencies. The more hoe tendencies, the more hoe habits, the more characteristics a woman has, the more guys she has likely slept with.
Right. Facts. I feel you on that.
Right. So you can, and listen, every girl has a high body count. Dude, my girl had a high body count before I met her. I mean, this is just how it goes. Right. And listen, this is just it in 2020. You can either have the game to deal with it, or you can just exit out of there. But the point is this, and I agree with Lucario on this. If your game is strong enough, it makes the relationship more likely to work. But let's call a spade a spade. I don't need any study or statistics to tell me that a girl who's fucked 311 guys probably not going to make a good wife. I don't need a statistic to tell me that a virginal 18-year-old is probably going to make a better wife than the stripper on the pole with a notch count of 1,638, the number of people watching right now.
But, so what makes a wife, though, is cooperation.
Of course.
For the most part, you know what I mean? Because in some aspects of this, a bitch is having a high notch count can benefit you as a man. So, and I want to say to this degree, it's two ways you can look at it. Like, damn, this last guy or the guys that came before me have trained this bitch to fuck me properly. Because I was in a 7-year relationship and the woman was extremely gorgeous. The pussy was mediocre and the head was god awful. But I had to still deal with her ass because I was with her and I was trying to get her. She probably on somebody else's watch right now, giving him the work of God. That might be, so the other guy might be thanking me for putting her on and getting her shit right. But it took 7 years for me to get her to even fuck right. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is a high notch count on some of these bitches might benefit you. But that's just one aspect of the game. Sex. That's just sex. And we can get past sex. Let's just talk about being cooperative to your program.
Right.
And man, that right there can't even be taught. You know what I mean? That's just something that if it's in that woman, it's in that woman. And it's preferably at a younger age. Because a lot of older women, they think they know shit and they don't know anything.
They don't know shit, man. All right, I'm gonna get to these super chats because I just saw a very good question. I think that everybody can chip in on. Red Pill Mike with the $20 super chat. And by the way, guys in the chat, give us your slut tells. Listen, we know we can never know. I want to know your slut tells. I see a super chat in here earlier, and I'll read that later. He said, "Dirty feet equals high miles." There we go. That's what I'm talking about. A girl with clean feet has absolutely fucked less guys than a girl with dirty feet. $20 super chat. Red Pill Mike says the higher her notch count, the greater her level of denial. The higher his notch count, the greater his level of wisdom. When a man waits to interact with women, he learns the truth very late in life. Very well said. Francis Arminage with the, I already read that one. I already read that one as well. Give me just a second. Ryan Sullivan. Oh, crap. Here we go. There we go. Party voice. Listen, they're already starting to come in. Let me get, yes. BGI Ramp, $5 super chat. How she handles your tool is how you gauge her mileage. Right. No girl, dude, listen, virgins are not good at sucking dick. It just doesn't work that way. H Dog with the $2 super chat says you guys are keeping it real. I don't know why he put $20 in there, but he can't fool me. Right back, $20 super chat says her behavior with enlightened men is indicative of her age and notch count. Her point of no return is determined when her lack of wisdom / principle becomes obvious to high value males. I think I understand what he's saying there, but I think he's outthinking the room there. I just think it has to do with men who can pick up on hoe tendencies. Techo Mage B5, $7 super chat says Mother Nature warns us of dangerous creatures by displaying their colors, and so do women. Purple hair, etc. I would also add tattoos. H Dog with the $20 super sticker, appreciate that. C Platinum, $10. Dirty feet equals high miles. I co-sign on that 100%. Live level $5 super chat says you can measure her notch count. Jap, he says you can measure her notch count by her level of cooperation and submissiveness. Women with high body counts are combative because they resent being used.
Nope, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead, Lucario.
No, see, you can't tell the woman's notch count by her level of cooperation. Because, for example, a woman could meet Jap and cooperate heavy with her, and then meet me and be uncooperative. It's the same woman. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's just like I said, when I know the high end escort, this is a woman I dealt with, and I've told Donovan the story before where I met her 6 years later in my kung fu school, and she tried to act like we didn't know each other because she had completely squared up, was living in a huge mansion, and look, guys. You never will know a woman's notch count.
Nope, never will.
You won't. So knock it off. And you can try to make all these assumptions, but Lucario is dead on. You can't know. So better to just kind of go on and make other things.
Watch her habits. Listen, watch her habits. Because again, this is where guys get fucked up in the game. They are so enthralled that an attractive woman is letting him fuck her. They miss the obvious signs that she's probably for the streets. And when we say for the streets, we mean fuck a lot of guys, right? If she has condoms in her car, she's fucked a lot of dudes. She's for the street. Guys need to pay attention to this stuff. You have to pay attention. But I agree with Lucario. I think it depends on the guy too. Ice Dragon Kid with the $5 super chat says this is the intellectual roundtable that every man should listen to. You guys get better every week. Thanks again for answering the hard questions. Very, very good. There's a very good question I'm going to go back up and get. Quarantine to God. $5 says, had a chick smash me and my cuz. The frat boys knew her for running scrimmages, i.e. trained. Now she's engaged. She was the gypsy addy popping type. Cam Gibson with the $10 super chat says, you're 100% right. My girlfriend started laughing like me and all crazy. I was her first in high school. Okay. Grown Man Business, $10 super chat says, salute to brother Solo TV 84 and Jappa. Now, there was
Grown Man Business.
Hey, Grown Man. Hey,
YouTuber. Good guy.
Grown Man Business. GMB. I like the GMB. We like that hashtag GMB.
Yep.
Shout out to bro. Man.
Here is the question that I'm going to pose to the panel. This is an excellent question by Nate Dogg. He says, what body count does a man need to have to even consider training a woman for an LTR? I know Donovan says 35.
Is a good question.
Say you gentlemen. So I'll answer this first. My rule is the 35-35 rule. Before you even think about getting into a long-term relationship with any woman, you need to be at least 35 years old and have fucked at least 35 women. If you fucked at least 35 women, you've had your heart broken, you've been cheated on, you've been done dirty, you did dirty. 35 women is a lot of women. And at that point, you pretty much know what to look for. You know what to look for, what not to look for. So, Steve, I'm going to come to you. What kind of experience, notch count-wise, does a man have to have before he can start thinking about a long-term relationship with a woman?
Okay, real quick, I just want to say something more what y'all were saying about the woman's hair and tattoos.
Yeah.
Y'all don't know about cosplay and women, nerdy girls who color their hair. That doesn't mean that they're promiscuous. It means that they're rebellious. So we gotta kind of watch how we do this, because you should judge a woman on how she treats you and stuff like that. So you can't, there's a lot of guys gonna think just because she has tattoos and colored hair that something's wrong with her, but maybe she's just rebelling, or maybe she's artistic or something, artsy kind of chick. I just wanted to say that real quick.
All right, I got you.
But as far as that, no, I don't look at a number, because I've been fucking since I was 13. So I don't look at a number or anything. I look at what I want. You know what I mean? I don't, you're asking, does a body count? I don't You mean our body count for us? That's the question, Lucario? I mean, sorry, our body count. Oh no, I don't look at her because I look at a woman as just a fuck. Excuse me, she's just nothing. There's nothing. Right. So I don't look at her. I don't look at body counts because I expect, even especially today when women are giving pussy away like Halloween candy, you should have 35 in a month. I mean, you should be smashing at least 5 to 10 women on your roster right now. So what I don't understand, I don't look at 35 or anything like that because I look at the woman. I mean, for the man first. That's
okay. Very good. That's actually now that's interesting because, dude, when I was 13 years old, I didn't even know what pussy looked like. Right. So that just showed my lack of experience there. But that makes sense. The earlier you get started, I guess the more experience you have. Lucario, what kind of sexual experience does a man need to have to train a woman for a long-term relationship?
Right. I think that it's not necessarily the sexual experience. It's more so I think men have to have more relationship experience and dating experience with women. So you could have a guy who smashed 50 women and 48 with them were one night stands, right? But you could have a guy that only had sex with 4 women, but he dated all 4 of them. You know what I'm saying?
You're smart, man. I swear to God, you're making me think in a different.
You know what I'm saying? Because he could have been with, let's say he was with 3 of them for like a year, just dating them, going back and forth. He has more experience than the guy who smashed 50 women. So he has more relationship and long-term experience, so that he learned more about dealing with a woman over time. This is why, because I tell guys, wait at least a year or a year and a half before you make any girl your girlfriend anyway.
Straight up.
Right. So if you're dating the girl, okay, we're dating, we're hooking up, we're having fun, we're chilling. And as time goes on, you learn how to maintain interest of the woman over a long period of time. You learn how to see a girl cooperating or being uncooperative. So you learn all the things and you go through the mistakes through the process. So I don't think it's necessarily just sex. It has to be more so the experience of being with women long term on a consistent basis. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes all this. Listen, just like you say, there's a difference between sexual market value and relationship market value. Right. There's a difference between sexual experience and relationship experience. Very good point. Byron, what is your required level of experience? If you're talking to a guy in the webinars, this is Myron. How old do I have to be, and how many women have I had to have smashed to train a girl for a long-term relationship?
Yeah, this is an excellent question, man. Definitely, you got to be in your 30s. You should not even be thinking about trying to get with girls until you're in your 30s and you got yourself financially stable, because you're not going to be able to exert boundaries and exert your demands on a woman until she respects you. And quite frankly, she's not going to respect you until you're at a certain maturity level and a certain economic level. So that's first and foremost. You got to build the castle, then they're going to come. Then with that said, how you get your lay count is very important, because I know there's guys out there that have a lay count of like 2, 3, 500, 1,000, but half of them were escorts. That doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? Because you never went through the trenches and figured out game and how to actually deal with a woman beyond the transactional level. So that's number one. So how you get the lay count is very important. So if you were like in a frat in college and you got laid with like 50 girls, but now you're in the real world and you're a fat POS and you can no longer attract women because you don't have that social clout from college, then you're not ready for it either. Now, to have a nice universal number, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to say you need to be at least 50 dealing with like 50 or more, like dealing with girls from like cold approach or online dating or whatever. And the reason why I say that is because the way the marketplace is now, more women are promiscuous than ever before. So the only way you're going to catch up as a guy is you need to be able to discern a woman that's a good candidate for a long-term relationship versus a woman that's not a good candidate for a long-term relationship. And the reality is, and why so many guys get fleeced in the marketplace, is that they don't have the experience to discern a girl that is probably a bad investment. You know what I'm saying? And they're too quick to commit. Yes. So I agree with Lucario 100% that you need to date her seriously for several months to a year, because she won't be able to keep the mask on forever. It's going to come off at some point. You know what I mean? And then the more experienced you are, the quicker you're going to find those red flags. And that comes from dating and seeing multiple women. And then on top of that, you're just going to build experience as a guy anyway. Because I think a big reason why guys get into, if you ask any guy that gets like thrown through the ringer in a divorce or any type of thing, or gets in a relationship where his wife is beating on him or anything like that, it's almost always a guy that's sexually inexperienced because he doesn't know better. You know what I'm saying? On what expectations are on a woman, how to lead the frame, all these things. And all these guys that get beat up by their girls almost always have zero experience. So I think you got to get to 50 or more. It's got to be quality lays where you basically work the lead from zero, and you just got to basically be cognizant of red flags and behaviors that are not conducive to a long-term relationship. And I would say 50 is going to hopefully get you there. Now, for as far as my like transformation, I didn't really start like becoming razor sharp with this shit until I hit triple digits. So that was me. Everyone's different and learns at different rates. But being here in Miami, I had to drink through a fire hose, and it took me triple digits. So like now I'm like on it. You know what I mean? It's like internalized now. So everyone is different. Everyone has a different learning curve. But I would say 50 is bare minimum. And then if you can get even further, and I'm only 30 years old, so I think every guy's got to get to at least that benchmark, in my opinion.
Solo, what are your thoughts? What age do you have to be? What experience, sexual or relationship experience? Because Lucario added another dimension to that.
Yeah, and shout out to Lucario, because Lucario brings up something that Steve actually brought up on my stream is, remember Neil Strauss when he wrote the game, and in the game he was talking about how mystery could attract these girls, but when he got into relationships, he was a hot mess, right?
Yep. Right. Oh, yes. Wow.
Yeah,
perfect example, dude.
He had to go to the side.
There you go.
Wow. He broke down when his other PUA buddy was bunker bustering his girlfriend. He couldn't handle it. Wow, you all remember that story, right, Donovan?
Yeah, I do. That makes perfect sense, dude.
And then Neil Strauss kind of went through the same thing. He was great at attracting women, but like most PUAs, he had what's known as a sticking point, which was relationships. He couldn't keep the girl. That's why when he was dealing with Lisa, he could never pass her shit test because he was thinking from a frame of I'm not good enough, right? And even I went through that, Donovan, where when you first get in the game, there's going to be certain girls like, I can meet a girl at the club, Donovan, and hell, I even pulled 2 girls at the club, had a threesome. But guess what? It's a different ball game when you have to keep those women around. Yes. Now, one thing I will say that Myron brought up is, look, we can argue about you need a 50 or 100 lay notch counts, but if all the 50 and 100 lay notch counts are only 5s, that shit don't matter.
Yeah.
Talk about this. It's the turbo chicks, or the as I call them, the showstoppers, right? Those girls that are 8s, 9s, and 10s. It's different when you deal with them in a relationship compared to a 5.
It is another world.
Hold up. There's things that I know I can get away with a 5, Donovan, that a 10 or 9 will not allow me to get away with. This is why we talk about frame, this and that. That's why, Donovan, look, I've dealt with some chicks. I remember when I dealt with this chick in Miami. She was a centerfold model, everything, right? Well, guess what, Donovan? I was so
right. Get over your feet. Oh my God.
Bro, that shit did not last 2 weeks because I was wide-eyed. My nose was wide open. So there's levels to this stuff. I think it's more based on quality than quantity. Number one. But I don't disagree with what Myron is saying. I do think men need experience. I think you need to be at least 30 or older because there's a certain level of maturity. But then again, look at Mystery and Style. These guys steady game and they still succumb to their simpness at the end. You know, until mentality, they reverted back when they didn't know how to deal with the women to escalate it into a longer term relationship. Now, secondly, in terms of notch count, you got to be at least in the double digits. But every guy is different. You know what I'm saying? But I think you need at least 10, 20 minimum. But for me, I take more stock in a guy that's been with 10, 20 baddies compared to a guy that's, I've been with 205s. Different levels.
There, dude, this was an excellent question because there are so many more dimensions. All notches are not created equal, and different guys are in different cases. And a guy who has fucked 10 is obviously has tighter game than a guy who's fucked 205s. Also, with the Neil Strauss thing, Neil Strauss fucked hundreds, probably thousands of women. But guess what? He didn't have any experience with relationship. So while a guy who may have only slept with 50 girls, compared to Neil Strauss, who's probably slept with 1,000, the guy who slept with 50 girls and has had relationships, that guy is going to know more about relationship game and all. And I think, and I'm going to come to Kevin right after this. I think this is why I've been able to maintain my red pill edge. And the reason for that is because I don't get a day off, man. I live with my girlfriend. I cannot afford to let off the gas. My message has been the same from day one until now. And the reason for that is because if there is one day of weakness, one moment of fucking weakness, that's going to be a fissure that's going to end up cracking. So I think what helps me keep my edge is the fact that I have to be on all the time. Whereas a guy like Neil Strauss, who fucks, bitches all the time, and when he goes home, he can be his normal beta self. But what happens when you have a girlfriend? It's a totally different ballgame.
Let me say this real quick before you go to Kev, because I know he's going to kill it. I just want to say real fast. The thing with the problem with Mystery and Neil Strauss was that they weren't RP aware. You know what I'm saying?
No,
they didn't internalize this stuff. What they were able to do, however, was they were able to mimic alpha male behaviors to attract women, right? As Rollo Tomassi says, shout out to him, bypass hypergamous filters by displaying high value behaviors, but they never internalized the shit. So when they actually ended up getting these hot girls, what did they do? They started simping. They weren't able to control frame. Next thing you know, Mystery wants to kill himself. Neil Strauss is on public television talking about, I messed up with my girl and all this other stuff, because these guys aren't really alphas. It's the equivalent of using a Game Shark to play, Pokemon. You could raise your, you could play the game with the Game Shark. You're going to beat the game better, but you know what? You never actually learn the skills to beat the game correctly. You use a cheat code to do it. And then when push comes to shove, when you play, you put your Pokemon against someone else on the system link, his Pokemon are going to fuck you up because he actually trained them in the wild while you were using rare candies in Game Shark. So that's really what, I'm saying? That's the reality.
That's a complete geek on them.
Yeah, I went real nerd on there. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that they didn't internalize the shit.
The incels gonna love that one.
Yeah, they're gonna love it. So sorry, Kev, it's on you, man.
Yeah, Kev, what are your thoughts? And listen, man, there's so much more to mention now. So knowing what you know now, age, body count for a guy, what quote unquote qualifies him to be ready to train a woman for a long-term relationship?
Well, I guess if Myron wants to use Pokemon, I should start talking Yu-Gi-Oh.
Hey,
we're going.
I'm gonna use activate solemn judgment. Here's the thing. There's a combination of both. See, what I'm on my channel, I talk a lot about, the image and everything else, but it comes down to work. And relationships are work. And what we're starting to figure out is we emphasize a lot on short term. Short term is about the initial attraction, the game, the this, the that, but the work involved in a relationship is not nearly the same as short term. That's what all you guys are pretty much saying there. And so it comes down to, how can you train somebody for long term if you've never had long term or know what you need her to be there for long term? Right. See, it's one thing to say, you are mine, and as I grow and evolve, I mold you to my needs. But it still requires a self-aware man knowing why he has that woman in that place versus I just want to see how many chicks I can hit up. And I've been on both sides of it.
Right.
Been, high notch count, and then I've had long relationships with beautiful women, but I've not been to where I am right now. Completely red pill aware, having all these things working at the same time, and then deciding to have a long-term relationship. But when I do decide, it will be for a long term because now I know why she's here. And just like you with Devin, there's gonna be very similar parameters. It's like Steve and his wife, Mr. Lacari on his. That's where you eventually have to get to. That's what a true LTR is, when the men is in charge and knowing why, when the women know exactly why they are there.
And listen, shout out to Lucario, man. Because I'm telling you, man, listen, we've all been in the game for a while, but it is really cool when you can still be learning. I've never even thought about notch count versus experience versus age in that way. Excellent discussion there. We're going to open up the phone lines, 914-205-5356. The number is scrolling on the bottom of your screen. Let me answer a few more of these super chats and we'll get back to it. Mr. LSS says, black women slut tells, mismatched socks, and a Nissan Altima. That's fucked up. Guys. Chris Von Erich, $5 super chat, says that a chick took me back to her place. I saw she had a dish full of condoms. You think she had a high body count? I'm gonna go with yes.
Yeah, of course.
those are obvious slut tells. John Lando with the big $50 super chat says, my thanks to this council of 7. My combination of Minister Jap, Kevin, and Donovan keep a secure balance of female understanding and male accountability. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate that very much, John Lando. The Destroyer, or Thought Destroyer, $5 super chat says, as a guy who has been told that women are attracted to nice guys and never done the deed at the age of 19, how do you just live my own life and be happy? So let's take a minute here and answer his question. So obviously he was sold the lie, right? You got to be nice to these women, blah, 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 blah. He's a virgin at 19 years old. He wants to know how to live life on his own and be happy. Steve, what do you got? 19-year-old virgin.
Well, your first problem is you're making it about women.
There you go. Boom.
As soon as you make it about women, you lost. You worry too much about the end result instead of the pathway that you got to get to your end result. So you got to stop worrying about these women so much and start focusing on you and what makes you different, what makes you special, what makes you authentic, and then stop putting your emotions in these ancient women. You'll be good.
But that's why I came to me first, because I knew he was going to say, listen, you're 19. It ain't about girls, man. It never has been.
You got to be outcome independent, man. Like here's the problem. I was talking about this yesterday on Rule 0. Yo, you can't run I hope she likes me game. You got to run take it or fucking leave it game. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the reality. When you go up to a girl and you're like, oh my God, let me qualify to you and all this other shit, you're automatically inadvertently telling her you're higher status than me, and her perception of you, because let's face it, perception is reality. She's going to think she's better than you, and then she's automatically going to lose attraction for you. Because here's the reality. Women are not like us. If a girl is hot enough, if she works at McDonald's, I'll fucking date her. I don't care. But it doesn't work the other way around. So you must put yourself in a position where where her perception of you is higher status than her own, for her to actually respect and want to fuck with you. And then one more thing I wanted to say real quick about mystery and all this other stuff. The thing is, guys, you got to understand, I'll make it simple. Game is basically like having dynamite, okay? The red pill awareness is what teaches you to toss that dynamite before you blow your fucking arm off. The problem with these guys, Mystery and Neil Strauss, was they played with the dynamite, but they didn't have the calibration and knowledge to know when to toss the dynamite, and then it blowing up their limbs off, wanting to commit suicide over chicks. So, that's all I want to say on that one.
Very, very well said. Lucario, 19-year-old virgin. He wants to know how he can be happy. What are your thoughts?
Well, this is the thing. In my book, I have a book called The Magnificent 10 Crucial Dating Tips for Men. And one of the chapters is called You're Not a Nice Guy, So Stop Acting Like One. You understand? Right. And the problem is that instead of being this nice guy, just do and feel exactly how you want to feel, say exactly what you want to say, be exactly how you want to be. And that's going to make you attractive to women. That's the thing that women want. They don't see the nice guy as just an act that you put it on to try to placate, suck up to her, and all that other stuff.
It's disingenuous, right?
You know what I'm saying? He's having an issue. So if you would drop all that and just start being how you want to be, then you'll attract more women. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the problem with guys nowadays, where they've been taught that you got to be this nice guy, but it doesn't work. And you got to understand something. What women say they want and what they respond to is two totally different things. You understand what I'm saying? So a woman is going to say she want a nice guy, but she responds to the bad boy. She responds to the asshole. So look at what women do, then don't pay attention to what they're saying. You see what I mean?
Very good. Yeah, listen, that's Red Pill 101. Do not listen to what she says. Watch what she does. Jap, 19-year-old virgin who wants to know how he can be happy with his life.
What he wrote is that he's a guy who's attracted to women that perceive him to be the nice guy.
Well, he says that he's been
telling him to be the whoever you've been listening to, first and foremost, has been giving you the wrong information.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we're in a day and age where everything has been reversed. All of the chivalry, all of the gentleman thing, these women have literally talked themselves out of it, and they have devalued it. As a young man, I would suggest that you get out here and get experience. The body count is going to come with the experience. So I don't know how to count all the bitches I dealt with, and it would scare me if I had to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all talk about, man, you got to have at least 30 bitches. Man, I was cringing. I was like, if they ask me this question, this is going to get scary. But I will say this. Get all types of experience. Get your ratchet experience. Get your fucking bougie bitch experience. You know, get your artsy cultured bitch experience. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see all different aspects to see what works, and then that will strengthen your game to whatever bitch that comes before you. Because you're not gonna know what a bitch is when she comes before you. So you have to always be willing to take on the experience just for the experience, because the pussy will come.
Okay, good stuff. Solo, 19-year-old virgin. How can I be happy?
Okay, so I'm going to approach this from a different angle, right?
Okay.
To me, it sounds like this guy is looking to get validation through losing his virginity or getting coochie. As soon as you start to base your happiness on coochie, you will be greatly disappointed.
And we've all made this mistake, right? We've all been there.
He never had it. He don't even know what it's like.
Right. We've all been there. Like, we have all based our value on how many women we can fuck, and we find out that's not really the case.
Solo speaking facts.
Right. So here's the main issue is he thinks, well, if I get to a certain number or a certain type, guess what? Once again, I know we talked about the mystery thing and Neil Strauss, right? Unplugged. But here's the reality. It's guys like this who somehow think that, oh, I can be red pill and then find the one and make her into a unicorn. That's not how it works.
Oh,
right?
no.
That's not how it works. So the reality is this: if you want to be happy, and once again, I'm not trying to sound like new agey or anything like that, but first you got to be happy with who you are. You got to know who you are as a man, your values, what you stand for, and what you really want to achieve. If you want to go out there, bang, schmang them out, 100 girls, you can do that. But at the end of the day, what is your goal and what is your why? If your why is out there, just bust as many nuts as you can, whatever, go ahead and do that. But if you want to have ultimate happiness, that comes from who you are as a man by achieving your goals. And by doing that, that gives you purpose in regards to fulfilling your dreams, your goals, and what you really want to do. Because once you smash, let's be honest, guys, once you smash a couple chicks, you basically smashed them all, my G.
Right. Very good. Listen, I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm gonna start a new based award today. We're gonna call it Chef's Hat. Whichever one of us you guys feels cooked the most, I'll tell you how to vote and whatever, and we'll do a whole big thing about it. But dude, I'm gonna tell you what. Right now, it's fucking Lucario and goddamn Solo and motherfucking Myron. Y'all three are competing for the motherfucking Chef's Hat because y'all cooking. All right, let's get to these other super chats. TSM Itachi, $3 super chat says, I'm pretty beta, but I love absorbing this information. Yeah, you got to do something with it, though. Phoenix 606, 14 Canadian dollars says, cosplayers and martial artists were mostly the less attractive ones when they were young, and once they start getting attention from dudes in her community related to her hobby, the body count skyrockets. Real talk. Kyle won $2 super chat says, age 31 and only had sex once at age 20.
Fix that, buddy.
Yeah, we definitely have to fix that, bro. Oh my god. Yeah. We need to get you laid, homie. Like, we
That's
need
scary.
Dudes like that, especially if he has money, dudes like that are prime victims for girls, man. They're gonna prey on you.
They're looking for guys like you. Martin Delaney with the $5 super chat. This is interesting. He asks, how do you men discourage undesirable behavior? Anger, verbally address it, ghost her for a week. Dude, that question.
Can I take this one first?
Yeah, go ahead, man. You got it.
All right. So, this is the thing, guys. Women, so what we want is sex. What women want is attention.
Boom.
So you need to negatively reinforce any type of bad behavior by retraction of attention. So if a girl does display some kind of rude behavior or pisses you off, this is what I do. I personally keep my read receipts on my fucking phone and let these girls know that I left them on scene. And if you leave them on scene, most of the time girls can't take that. So they're going to know off rip, you read it, you're not responding, and then they'll probably come correct if she liked you in the first place. If she didn't, then you already know she was from the streets anyway, so let her go. But the thing is that you cannot positively reinforce bad behavior by giving her attention. Now, with that said, that's with a girl that you just met, maybe slept with her once. Now, if it's your girl, then you need to calmly, right, let her know that this shit is not acceptable, and let her know that, if you do that again, I'm kicking you to the fucking curb. You know what I'm saying? Because you need to like demonstrate it. Whether you go 24 hours or 48 hours not talking to her, and then she like pleads to meet with you or something like that. But you have to the base of this, because obviously it switches depending on your relationship with this girl, how much you've invested. But the point is, the main takeaway is you need to retract attention for a certain amount of time based on how long you've been messing with the girl. So the longer you've been messing with her, the longer you probably have to retract that attention to hit the point home that behavior is not acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Listen, and if she respects you, she's gonna come back. If not, then fuck her anyway. Sorry, Donovan. That was all I got.
No. Listen, you're absolutely right. And listen, I'm in a long-term relationship. Steve is, Lucario is. When Devin gets out of line, when she gets out of pocket, and Myron is 100% right. Women can get attention, and I think Myron meant attention, but I think what we're talking about is that real attention, right? Because
someone they give a fuck about. My bad.
There you go.
No,
absolutely. Because a like is not really attention. Girls can get likes all day, every day. But a man's most valuable commodity is his time and his attention. When my girl steps out of line, I take away my time and I take away my attention. Now I'm spending 8, 10, 16 hours in the studio. Now I'm not talking to her as much. We live in the same house, right? My girl knows not to ask me, what did I do? She knows what the fuck is up. She's 36 years old. So, and just like Myron said, if you just started seeing a girl, the way to correct bad behavior is to take away her attention. That's it. Women can get anything from any man, right? But a man's time and attention is what leads to everything else. His resources, his commitment, et cetera, et cetera. So if a woman steps out of line on your watch, you take away your time, you take away her attention. And just like Myron said, if she likes you enough, she's going to come to you. If she doesn't, then she's going to be like, all right, bet. Man, well, I withdrew my attention. Why isn't Melanie returning my calls? Because she was for the streets and she was never going to like you in the first place. Steve, I saw you. I saw you shaking your head. Man, what you got?
I'm on some other shit over here, guys. I'm like this. I never try to fix a woman. I troubleshoot. That's the bottom line. If it doesn't work, I replace. And all the troubleshooting I do is based off the rules, laws, codes, principles, narratives, mission statements, vision statements, and legacy statements of my motherfucking name. That's it. When I meet you the first time, just like when we all go to a job, the job always tells you what its expectations are. The job always tells you what's going to happen if you don't follow the expectations. When I see her first, we can laugh and giggle. We can throw water and have pillow fights. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to pull her ass over and I'm going to let her know that, hey, this is what the deal is. Hey, look, you get one, but I'm a drama-free man. You bring any drama into my life, you're gone. That's it. I'm not putting up with later on down the line when you want to keep trying to test shit. I'm not going to try to fix you. I'm a troubleshoot. And just like we all do when our phones kind of mess up, our computer something, we go right to that book. But that book is my name, and I'm going to find out what she's doing. How am I going to troubleshoot this shit? I'm trading her in.
Real quick, because Steve brings up a good point, and this is why this is great, because this is not an echo chamber. Differing opinions, obviously the audience can make their own conclusions.
More than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this. You know what I'm saying? The thing I wanted to say though with Steve is that to me, when you retract the attention, her imagination is going to run wild, and she's automatically going to infer that you're probably talking to other girls. Because the reason why I say that,
listen, Myron, is because that's short-term relationship. Steve's talking about 20 years. So
okay.
Not even 20 years or 2 days, Myron.
Oh, okay.
It's short. Knowing I have other women, she gonna know I have other women by the way I walk up to her and talk to her motherfucking ass.
Yeah.
When I come from the clouds of ass and titty and take the form of man and flavor in her ear, she gonna know I have confidence in other women. Basically, the thing is, what a lot of guys don't know is that if she doesn't ask you questions like, "Oh, you that kind of guy, you're a player. Oh, how many women you got?" If a woman's not asking you that in the first meeting, then you really got some work to do, because that's what they do to guys that got motherfucking game.
No, that's a good point. And just to add real quick, and then Lucario, all I was going to say was, if she comes to that conclusion on her own, it's way more powerful, and your behaviors demonstrate that. Like, to me, I just retract attention, and she's pretty much going to assume, oh, the only way this guy's able to retract attention, not care, is he probably has other girls. So I get your point too.
Right.
Sorry, Lucario, go ahead.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the ability to retract attention infers that you have other bitches. Lucario, what you got?
Yeah, and I was going to say that one of the things that you got to understand is that when it comes to undesirable behavior, that won't happen a lot of times based off of how you're coming at the interaction in the first place. So if you're coming at her like a man, usually, and she sees you as desirable, then that undesirable behavior usually stops before she even says anything to you. Because what you got to understand is undesirable behavior usually happens because of two reasons. Either she's not interested in you, or you're with her and she got too comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? So if she's not interested in you, the undesirable behavior comes from her not being highly interested. Any woman who's highly interested in you is not going to display undesirable behavior. Now, two, if you've been with her for a long time, if she's gotten too comfortable, that's where some undesirable behavior comes out, because she's gotten too comfortable with you, meaning that you've metaphorically took your foot off her neck, and you can't ever do that. You see what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
It has to happen. You see what I mean?
Listen, Lucario is 100% right. Listen, man, Devin and I, we got into it on Friday night. There was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of crying. There was a lot of loud shit. Dude, my neighbors called the fucking cops on me. Like three cops came to my door, and my neighbors know what I look like. They said, "Yes, officer." He's a large black man with tattoos, and he has a fucking gym in his garage that he's never not in. That's why I had 3 of these motherfuckers show up at my door. But I said all that to say this: whatever Devin and I got into it, and I was yelling and she was crying and all that. It sucks to have to do that, but that's what's necessary. It's like children. No parent wants to spank their kids. I don't like airing out my girl. I don't like making her cry, but guess what? I know that's what's necessary to keep her in line. You have to do what's different. You have to do what most men are unwilling to do. That's what it comes down to.
Facts.
Yeah, and I want to say this: like, when you're confronted with undesirable behavior, we can't be passive with that at all.
No.
Like a lot of guys, you know, they try to be passive and say, well, they try to be compromising.
Yes.
There's a non-negotiable factor, and the guys that are non-negotiable with what they will accept and will not accept, we got to express that firmly in the beginning, and not bend and not break at all. And the problem is a lot of guys, like they'll say, yeah, I don't like it when a girl does that. She does that. And then he's not hardcore when he comes to it. I'm not saying you have to be loud, but you have got to be assertive. And you have got to show, like, listen, this is your last straw. I have options. I can leave. I don't play this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So you either correct it or get the fuck on. Because every woman is not going to come ready for whatever program any of these men on the panel have. Any woman coming perfect, and I get that. But it's up to you as a man to say, look, it's your last warning. Get it together or get the fuck on. And a lot of guys are coming very passive. I don't like when you do this. You should call me.
No. It would be nice if you didn't do no. And listen, I agree with Jap. You don't have to get loud, but I mean, you guys know my personality, man. And listen, when there is disrespectful behavior, if there is unfavorable behavior, you need to address it immediately. I don't care if you're in public or private, because if she gets out of pocket in public, and you think, okay, well, I can't check my woman because I don't want to. Guess what? She's going to disrespect you when you're out in public. No, you check that.
Pull her ass to the side.
Straight up, man. You take her ass to the side, be like, oh, like, for real. Like, do you want this to be a bad day for you? No, I didn't think so. Let's shape it up. Let's knock it off. That's the way you have to. You don't have to yell. Look her directly in the eye. Sometimes you have to bury your teeth, man. Solo, I'm gonna ask this. I'm gonna ask this question to you here. Seeker of Truth with a $10 super chat, and I want to get your thoughts on this because you're the second youngest on the panel. I think what he's asking, he says, what type of woman should a man rebuilding or has built himself financially after divorce get, and after upgrading their career skills, obtain much better job? A man after 40 plus years of age. So, what kind of woman should a man look for if he's been divorced? He's got a better job, got better skills, et cetera, et cetera. What kind of woman should a man like this look for?
I mean, you should always look for a younger woman. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's my preference. Like Jab said earlier, look for a younger woman. That is willing to follow your program, that is cooperative, right? What happens is, you know why, Donovan? 1 out of 4 women 40 or older are popping more Prozac and antidepressants and anxiety pills than all these younger women, although they're popping more pills too, is because these older women, number one, they're traumatized, stigmatized, and also a lot of them, once they get to a certain age, like somebody said earlier, they refuse to listen because they start to think that their program or their way will work. And then guess what happens to those women? They're crying on Kevin Samuel's channel because they can't figure out why they asked out.
They listen to dumbass Derek Simpson for too long.
Exactly. Yeah, right? So the reality is, if you're a guy in your 40s, try to always deal with younger women. That's my preference. That's why when I was dealing with that egg girl that I was telling you about, she was 22. You feel me? And in regards to what you guys were talking about previously, what you guys are running is what I run with women that I date all the time, known as dread game. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
I do it to perfection. And the girl I'm dealing with now, she knows I will walk away anytime I can. I have the option to. She knows that. She knows in the industry that I'm in that I deal with women all the time. Being a photographer with beautiful models, there's always women and parties that I can go to on the weekends. Anybody who follows me on the gram, you see that. So in regards to that, when you're dealing with certain behaviors, what you guys have to establish early on in any relationship or situationship is boundaries. And a lot of you guys don't have that. You know what, Donovan? I'm pretty sure Donovan does this too. When my girl does something, sometimes I can just look at her crazy and she knows.
Yes.
I better cut it the fuck out because that nigga might look. Like, I can just give her a look. Like,
that's it. Like, for real. I actually had to do that at the 21 convention. She started to talk over me. I didn't even look at her. We were sitting next to each other, and I just looked at the table in front of her, and she stopped. This is a woman who understands what's really going on. Let me get to these super chats because they are coming in hot and heavy. Dirty Dick Rodney, $2 super chat, says date Chicago and NYC 10s. You'll be ready for anything. I totally agree. Miami and Vegas 10s as well. James Young with the huge $100 super chat.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, sorry I missed the show. I will catch the replay on Patreon. Then he hits us with another $50 super chat. Says I couldn't do 150 at one. I like even splits. I appreciate that very much, James Young. James, I'm going to tell you what. James, if you're still watching, send me an email to tsr@donovansharpe.com, and I will give you how to build a quality woman absolutely free. That is a $100 value. It's a 7-hour, 5-part audio course on how to train a woman properly for a long-term relationship. I will do that for you, tsr@donovansharpe.com. Kyle 1 says, I don't have much money, but yeah, I've been fleeced. Being this desperate sucks. Listen, man, we're here for you. Just keep consuming the content. And listen, be patient. You're only 31. Girls aren't going anywhere. You're about to enter the prime of your life, so you're going to be perfectly okay. Red sings the blues. $5 super chat says, thank you for the disagreement, Donovan. Another donation to the 7. That was the very first question. C-Dub with the $20 super chat says, dropping tuition to the Sinister 7. All of you bring different expertise, and it's all required reading. My number one slut tell, a woman who fiends for her phone, literally fidgets if they go more than a few minutes off the phone. That is probably a pretty accurate.
And if it's cracked as well, there's another one for you.
If it's cracked, you can smash it. If it's cracked bone, you can absolutely fuck her in the ass. That's every girl.
Metro PCS.
Yeah.
Or a cricket phone. You got to get your balls sucked.
Oh, yeah. Those Obama phones. Violet Alchemist with the $10 super chat says, G'day, lads from Australia. Looking for advice on discussing chores with radical feminists in a housemaid situation, getting worn down by the man attacks, but these videos are keeping me strong. Peace. Appreciate that.
Get out of there, bro.
With the feminist.
Get out of there.
Yeah, get out of there. Amos Brown, $20 says, I totally agree with you guys. Women are the authors of their own fate. That's the only way they know how to do it. Devin says the cops were cool. Yeah, that's what you think. You a white girl. No, the cops were totally respectful, but it was very, and Devin and I, we have these conversations all the time. She doesn't know because she's white, right? I don't expect her to understand, but I try to explain certain things to certain people, right? So after they left, I turned back. She looks at me. She's like, 3 cops? I said, Devin, I'm 6'2", 228 pounds, man. I could have destroyed any one of those guys in a one-on-one fight. If I were them, I probably would have sent 5, especially for domestic disturbance. King Life, $5 says, what kind of resistance directly from her would disqualify her from being in your future? This one is simple, and I'm going to come to Steve with this one, and then we'll move on to the next one. Mine is that the more masculine, if you show masculinity, she shows more masculinity, she's out. If her response to ultra masculinity is more masculinity, she's got to go. So, Steve, what kind of resistance could a woman give you? What kind of bad behavior, pardon me, would automatically disqualify her from being in your immediate future?
Giving me resistance. So when I talk to a woman and I let her know what I expect of her, this is what I expect of you. I don't want to hear any ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. You are allowed to give me resistance if you want, and I'm allowed to throw your ass back into the water and find somebody else. So when you give me resistance, again, I'm going to tell you why I say what I say, and you are allowed to say yes or no, but giving me resistance is fighting me on my name. When I make that thing and you give me resistance, that means you're fighting me and you want me to change who I am for you. That shit ain't happening.
Real talk, man. Black Wolf Inc. $5 says, long live the 7 Kingsmen, and special shout out to Donovan, the Red Pill Werewolf, and Lucario, the bad boy. It's all in the delivery, I promise you. We had a couple more to get to. Give me a second here. They were coming in. Oh, wait, I totally agree. Black Wolf Inc.
Thanks for all the support, by the way, guys.
Oh, yeah,
we really appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Y'all, man. Y'all
Really,
Yeah, you guys are the real ones. Appreciate that.
Love to you guys, man. Respect to y'all.
Absolutely, man. Ryan Sullivan, $5 says, what online businesses do you guys recommend for a beginner? Let me take this one. That is the wrong question to ask here. Number one. Number two, if it were the right question, if you're asking someone what kind of business you should start an online business, then you're not ready for that. A lot of guys say, I want to start my own business. What business should I start? You're not ready yet. You're not ready yet. You have to have that idea. The Thought Destroyer, $5 says, thanks for the advice. Here's a good one. But how do I raise my confidence as I feel that I'm not that good looking and I'm not really blessed with the key I was granted? I don't understand that.
Can I answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead, Myron. You got it.
Number one, get in the gym. Okay.
There it is.
Because the reality is when you wake up in the morning and you do squats to the point that you're going to want to puke, you're not going to sit there and tolerate BS from some 19-year-old bimbo that hasn't accomplished anything in life. Okay. Number two, you need to basically work on yourself, because here's the thing, man. Confidence comes from competence. But just like Solo said, if you derive your confidence from female validation, you're going to take a fucking L every single time. And that's the problem with Mystery and Neil Strauss. They focused their validation. They focus their confidence to come from female validation. And let's face it, man, women are fickle. Women are flaky. Women don't adhere to like what they say they're going to do, especially within the confinements of a relationship. When they're going to, I'll meet you on a date. What happens? She flakes. So you can't base your self-worth on a woman's validation. You have to base it on your own accomplishments, because at the end of the day, when you base it on your own accomplishments, you're putting the ball in your court so that you determine your success and your happiness from it. The women are a byproduct of what you've built. You understand?
Yes.
But when you base it around what women do, you're going to get very angry, bro, because you got to understand this. Men are taught do what's right. Women are taught do what's right for you. There's a reason why they say I'm a man of my word and not a woman of my word. No, that's not some misogynistic bullshit. It's just the reality of how women operate, especially when it comes to the dating game. Here's the other thing. If you date enough girls, you'll quickly find out that girls even flake on each other. You know how many girls I know that like, oh, fucking Becky didn't show up to fucking brunch. Flaky ass bitch.
Dude.
Like that, they flake on each other. So for you to sit there and try to get your validation from a woman, you're going to be angry every single time, bro. So you control your happiness through your accomplishments. So get in the gym, focus on yourself, work in school, become successful, become the prize, and then women are a byproduct of that.
I think Myron just took the lead for the Chef's Hat Award tonight. That was unbelievable, man. The whole we are trained to do the right thing. Women are trained to do the right thing for women. Black Wolf Inc. says, Lucario, you were the first man to properly teach how to get women, and I saw results were nearly instantaneous. I can never thank you enough for that. Lucario, and talk to me, because I want to come to you on this one. You are obviously you're red pill aware, but your approach is not off the beaten path, but it's a little bit different than most might think when they watch it for the first time. What experiences in life, like what explains your, and I don't want to say marches to the beat of a different drummer, but your like your belief system obviously aligns with ours, but you come at it from another angle. What do you feel is responsible for that?
Well, shout out to Black Wolf, man, and I think the reason why, even when I watch you, Donovan, and I watch everybody else on the panel, is that I think what's similar about all of us on the panel is that we're all men, so we adhere to what we as men want to do in our lives and how that impacts how we deal with women. Because just like you said, Donovan, you're like, look, I gotta be on top of my shit, and especially when I'm dealing with my woman. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta make sure that goes down. I think just the difference, and I think it's not even necessarily with me, but I think it's with everybody. Because I think this is a good difference, is that because we're all different men, we're all going to have different perspectives on different things, which is why we keep learning from each other. You see what I'm saying?
Crazy, man.
I think that's the great part about even this show, is that you got 6 or 7 different perspectives that bounce off each other, and we can see where it all connects. You see what I'm saying?
I like it, and
it's very good. Echo chambers are stupid.
Right.
The echo chambers echo chambers are absolutely stupid, but it helps that we are all in fundamental congruency in terms of the difference between men and women. And that, to me, that's where it starts. We all believe the same things. We all just have different ways of getting there. I'm going to do this one more super chat, then we're going to get to the phone lines here. Club Fortune, aka Asarogi 112258, $35 super chat says, one love to the all pro team. Thanks to the panel for awesome advice, and your material forced me to rebuild, reevaluate, and reshape.
Thank you.
Like Thank
you.
Thank you very much.
Stuff like that, man. Thank you guys very, very much. Okay, let us go to the phone lines. Let us go to area code 917. Area code 917, you're on live with the 7.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, brother?
Tyler. I actually want to give a shout out to Locario because he was the first person that I found for the red pill. I found you a couple years ago, as a matter of fact. So, and we're in the same city. So, Locario, I definitely appreciate that. And as far
appreciate it, Sam. That's what's up.
Yeah, definitely want to give a shout out to Donovan because Donovan is the cutthroat of the red pill. Like, he was the one who was pretty much told me inadvertently, yo, get your shit in order. Mind you, I'm going to just keep this short because I know there's other callers. Basically, when I was 19, after I graduated high school, I bought 2 homes. And just as Myron said, shout out to him as well, women become a byproduct of your accomplishments. Me, I'm 20. I'll be 26. I'll be 26 in September. Pretty much, I bought 2 homes, paid them both out in full. They're mine. Like,
good work, bro.
You're not. Yeah, thank you. You're not gonna take any shit from any woman that's gonna pretty much that hasn't done shit, who hasn't even accomplished half the shit you accomplished.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You're not gonna. You as a homeowner not gonna take any shit from a woman who's still renting or still living with their parents. You feel what I'm saying?
Real talk, man. Real talk.
Yeah, man.
Like, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
For anybody, so for anybody who thinks that they're not good enough, for all the men, yo, look at your accomplishments. I guarantee you've done a lot more than half of the women you trying to pursue. That's all I gotta say. Much love to every last one of you guys. Also, shout out to Kevin Samuel because you're one of the main reasons why I've been on my YouTube channel and on my Patreon real heavy. Shout out to that. Yeah, hashtag high value men. So I definitely appreciate you for that. So you guys, one love, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys later.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the call there. That's a good call. And listen, I'll actually disagree with him. He says you will have accomplished more than half of these women out here. No, you will have accomplished more than all of the women you're trying to pursue. See, men are made, women are born. Women don't really have a motivation to be or become or to build. We as men, we do. So we accomplish more. That's why we are the prize. Anybody else have any thoughts on that?
Donovan, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Jap, you actually made a classic video about this a few years ago called I Am a House Nigga. Remember that? Yeah. And I was like, oh shit, what is this about? But Jap was talking about the same thing. Once you pay a mortgage, once you got to fix your own stuff, it really puts you levels above a regular guy because now you have real responsibilities. Not saying that guys who rent don't have responsibilities or guys who are doing other things don't, but when you're a homeowner, it's a different level. So shout out to Jap for making that video. That was a classic.
That was like what we call like clickbait to get you to come in. Because when I broke it down, it was basically I said, if you don't own shit, you ain't own shit. Right. And a lot of women always like to chastise the black man and all this about what we're doing, this, and that. But you're looking at a lot of on the dating scene, you're looking at a lot of women who have been fucking since they were 19 and they're at like 35, 36, and they're still either they don't have any assets, they just have bills and they don't have anything going on. So when you own something and you got it alone, you don't really appreciate them as much, and they don't even become of value to what you have going on. So it's just a different mindset. So shout out to the young brother right there. I wish I would have known what I'm doing at that age. Oh my God, he's gonna be a beast, and he's definitely going to win because it's at the end. All I want to do is see the men win.
Right.
However you play your situation, I just want to see you have the upper hand, and however it goes there. So I like what he's doing though.
Listen, 2 houses at 19 years old, dude.
Oh my God.
I didn't buy my first house till I was like 27.
I was chasing pussy at 19, man.
Shit. But listen, I was trying to chase pussy at 19, wasn't catching none. Let's go to area code 706. Area code 706. You're on live with the 7. What's up? 706 going once. 706 going twice. And we got to go to area code 404. You're on live with the 7. I want to make sure 404 that because you're calling from.
Hey, hello?
Yes. Hold on. You're calling from Atlanta, right? I want to make sure you're not calling from College Park, East Point, Riverdale, Bankhead. Like, you all right out there? You all right?
Yeah, man, I'm good.
All right. Just making sure, man. I mean, like, if you're in Bankhead, just saying. What's up?
Nothing much. Hey, I'm just calling guys because I'm actually, I'm actually 17, and right now, like, I'm in high school and such, and I just want to ask you guys, like, what should I do right now? Me being a young man, like, what should I do right now? Actually, I can put like my value up and such,
What was the question?
How did you get his value up? He's 17.
I was wondering. So like right now, I'm actually 17 years old. Right now, like I'm going to my my freaking senior year of high school, and I was wondering, like, so like right now, like what should I do? Like, do I like focus on the girls right now? Or do I focus on myself, or like?
You always, caller. You always.
That's my question.
You always focus on yourself, bro. Because here's the thing. You can always rely on yourself to make yourself happy. However, if you rely on women to make you happy, that's when you end up with fucking problems. Because like I said earlier, women are fickle and flaky in general. You know what I mean? Even with each other, let alone with, in the dating game. So if you base your happiness on a woman, you're going to take a L every single time, bro. So what you got to do as a 17-year-old is focus on whether you're going to school to go to, get a career that is, don't go to school and do some dumb shit like art where you're not going to be able to get a career. Make sure whatever you go to school for is going to be able to pay you dividends in the future, especially because college is a fucking scam if you don't use the right major.
Yes,
right? So invest in yourself, go to school, get a career, get yourself in the gym. You basically, right now, bro, I'm going to tell you right now, you're the equivalent of like a 50-year-old chick, right? Your SMV is all the way at the fucking bottom. No one gives a fuck about you. You're 17. So you got to build yourself up so that they will come. You know what I'm saying? So right now, when you're young and you have the time and you have the energy, this is where you build yourself up, where you start getting your money up, you get in the gym, start training, and then you build your knowledge as a man and become a higher value guy. Because here's the reality, man. If you try to get the girls now, if you chase the women now, you're not in a position where you can exert boundaries because you're not high value enough. Yeah. The only way that you can exert boundaries and command authority from a woman where she's going to follow your leadership is you have to be higher value than her. That's the only way it works. So in order for you to take that leadership position, she's got to submit to your will. She's only going to submit to your will if she perceives you as higher value. Right now, bro, no offense to you, you're low value as fuck. So you got to get your value up.
With him being 17, I don't want to bombard him with expert level game and just game in general. I want to give you just survival tactics so you can make it to be 24.
There you go.
I want you to learn the importance of the condom.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my God. Yes.
The condom alone is going to make sure that you're not a 23-year-old baby daddy in the game. You're not. The condom is going to make sure that these young recreational thoughts are not going to take advantage of your wet behind the ear ass. Maybe you have a good family. Maybe you have good grades. Maybe you are the promising motherfucker that's in the neighborhood. But the condom is what's going to save you from being that man that you should be or becoming a dirty dick Rodney, low value, 4 or 5 kids in the game, possibly facing jail time because you're trying to hit a jug to try to get off of child support. The condom is going to save your fucking life. So you're going to see, at this age, you're going to see a lot of young bitches and a lot of young idiots around you not utilizing the condom. And 4 years from now, you're going to see where not using the condom has taken it. So that's all because we can tell him everything in the world. You're still young. You're going to do whatever the fuck you want to do. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to bump your head. You're going to fall in love. You're going to be a fucking simp.
Right.
I can't stop you from doing that because you're 17. But what I can assure you is that if you're going to go through those stupid experiences, please wear the fucking condom.
I just want to say to you, big dog, 17-year-old, let your nuts drop. You gotta learn how to have your nuts drop. You know, Jap's saying that the condom is going to save you. He's absolutely right. But your name is going to be your compass that's going to guide you through all this stuff. So as you were going on through life, you've got to know the value of your name and rep that like it's your like Nike or whatever the fuck you little kids wear today. All you Thundercat kids wear today. Also for you, man, if you go to college, for those that go to college or those that are graduating and you don't know what you want to do, I always tell guys, go in the fucking military because you can travel the world. You'll get 3 square meals and you'll be able to save money. You'll be able to work out like Myron's telling you. You'll be able to go to school or the GI Bill. So if you're not sure about college or anything, don't ruin, because I'm telling you, once you walk out that door, big dog, the time's going to start clicking. One day you're going to blink and you're 17, 18. You're going to blink, you're going to be 26. You're going to blink again, you'll be 35. And you got to work on 401k, mutual funds, nest eggs, all these things. I'm not trying to bombard you with it, but these are things that you got to guide yourself. Like Jap says, fuck, but wear the condom. Take your name and use that as your compass to guide you through your life, young man.
Real talk, man. Very, very good advice. I guess I'll end this with this, caller. This is the deal, man. And listen, we can all sit here and tell you, oh, don't worry about girls. They're always going to be around. Listen, it is easier said than done. You're 17 years old. You're a walking hard on. I know it's going to be hard to sort of dismiss girls. Listen, you're going to fuck girls. You're going to get fucked over. You're going to get your heart broken. You're going to get cheated on. All that is all well and good. Just understand this. You have to win the battle now to win the war later. I don't care how hot girls are right now. I can assure you they will be younger and hotter when you are older. If you think, man, there's no way I'm going to ever be able to fuck 18, 19-year-old girls if I'm 36. No, there are 40-year-olds fucking 18, 19-year-old girls. And I'm going to tell you this one last thing before I let you go. We got other callers. You're 17 years old. You are red pill aware. Your wife has not been born yet, my friend. Always keep that in mind.
There we go.
Always keep that in mind.
She's swimming this one's nuts.
Thanks for the call, area code 404. Let's take 2 more calls here. Area code 646. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What's up?
It's me, Destroyer.
Destroyer, what's up, brother?
Thank you for taking my call. And I just wanted to ask, ever since I moved, my work drive or my confidence in my work has considerably dropped. And I just want to know, how can I get that drive back, since I want to go into computer science and try to get a degree, but right now I feel like it's really not going to do anything for me since I lost that drive. So what can I do to get it back?
Yeah, how old are you?
19.
Oh, dude, you've got all the time in the world, man. Listen, when you're talking about, and I'm not a career guy, but you have plenty of time to make the decision in terms of what you should do. The only thing I can advise you to do is think about a job you could do if money weren't an issue. If you had $5 billion and the requirement to keep that $5 billion was to work any job 2 hours, 3 hours a day, whatever the case may be, what would that job be? What would you do if money weren't an issue? If it's computer science, then by all means, go to computer science school. But if you've lost that drive for it, then that means that that's not what you're supposed to do. Does anybody else have any advice for this one?
It's only work if you don't. It's only work if you don't enjoy it, man.
I agree. Myri, go ahead.
No, facts. I agree. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I'm sorry we couldn't give you better advice. This is more really along the lines of self-improvement. But yeah, he's 19. Listen, we got 19-year-olds and 17-year-olds calling us, guys. The fucking message is getting out, man. Like, the message is getting out, dude. Like,
you're already winning by calling in at that age, bro. A lot of guys find this shit too late when they're 50, divorced, and they're zeroed out. You know what I'm saying? So it's good that you found this stuff out, because at the end of the day, man, this isn't about us like telling you guys, oh, women are terrible and all this other shit. All we're telling you guys is the realities of what you need to prepare yourself for and how to navigate it appropriately so that you don't find yourself with a girl that's going to put you in a very bad position. Yep. That's really what it's about.
Good stuff. J-Max with a $5 super chat says, excellent as always, fellas. Any direct advice for single fathers like me building themselves back up? I'm not a single father, but let me tell you something. As a single father, you being a single father does not hinder you on the dating market like a single mother does. There are girls out here who say, well, I don't want to date a man with kids. Bitch, you full of shit. Get the fuck out of here. Bitches out here think that they can be just as discerning and picky as men. No, there's a big difference between single mothers and single fathers. Single mothers repel high-value men. Single fathers attract.
It's social proof.
Dude.
If anything, being a single dad is social proof. And here's the other thing too. It shows especially if you have like a daughter, like it shows that you have a caring side as well. So like it does work for you on the low. Cause like girls, cause here's the thing. Every woman's like biggest fear is that you're like some crazy rapist that's going to kill her in an alley or some shit. So when you have children, that automatically shows that you're probably a normal person and you're fit to be a father, let alone, especially if you have custody. And most women know that if you have custody of the child, you're probably way better off than the mom. You know what I'm saying? Because it's very difficult for men to get custody of the children, especially on a prime basis. So for men, it's not the same as being a single mom. So it actually will help you if you play your cards right.
Yes. Don't listen to these bitches out here talking about, I don't date single fathers. Yes, but you will fuck them and then you will want to date them. Freelance Ronan with the $5 super chat. This guy is my very first subscriber ever. Drop it in the tip jar, gentlemen. Also, respect to all the young bloods getting an early start. Take full advantage, young bloods. We're going to take 3 more calls and then we're going to call it. Let's go to area code 650. Area code 650. You're on live with the 7.
What's up, Donovan and panel? It's AJ in San Francisco.
What's up? Oh, AJ, what's up, brother?
Hey, I wanted to make my call based on one of the super chats you got from the chatter who asked about what ideas are valid for an online business. And even though the take home was, you know, that your focus is more on dating, the advice that you gave is actually very good. And it's all based on mental point of origin. This applies to dating as well as business. And I think it's more relevant than some viewers might give it credit.
No, listen,
so, with
go ahead.
Yeah, so with women, the reason why, you know, the attraction and commingling between the sexes works is because meritocracy is rewarded.
Right.
You need to provide value and demonstrate value in order to be rewarded with a high quality women. It's not just arbitrary, right? Some guys ask, why is it like this? Why can't they just accept me for who I am?
Right.
But this is how society advances. This is how merit is rewarded. The same thing in business, right? It begins with you have an idea, you have a skill set, then you take that to an online business instead of thinking, oh, online business will facilitate my lifestyle.
Right.
Now I need an idea.
Gotcha. And thanks for the call, AJ. A lot of guys, and again, we all, I don't know, Steve, you don't do this for a living. Steve is worth a boatload of money. You didn't have to do this.
No, I'm poor. No, I do have other. I know I hustle. I always look. I got a hustle mentality. I always talk about when I was 7 years old. I bagged groceries to get marbles. I always hustled. So I always like streams of income. So if you always look at my Facebook, I'm always giving young men Amazon Flex. You can make money doing that. Instacart, not Uber and Lyft, but things like that. Oh man, it's a great hustle and it's easy money, man. Easy as ever, man.
You got to see Steve's house. It's
not. It's
I'm not trying to tell on him, but his house is crazy. It's sick. John Lando with the $10 super chat says, "Pay attention, young brothers. I am over 50, divorced, have been financially and characteristically destroyed, and I am a witness that the comeback is long, hard, and real." Listen, that's what it is, man. And that's the thing, man. Broken men can be fixed. Broken women cannot, man. You can lose everything in your 40s and still come back strong in your 50s. Last 2 calls of the day. Let's go to area code 406. Area code 406, you're on live with the 7.
Donovan, what's up?
What's up, brother?
Hey, man. How you fellas doing today?
Chilling.
Listening about a year now, and I'm in my mid-30s, and I gotta tell you, man, all these young guys calling in too, you just gotta stick with your guns, man.
Yeah.
And you gotta, I think I started investing, I started lifting, and you know, my bank account showing, I'm not married, and I don't plan on doing that, you know, and you know what, maybe at some point, but Donovan, I just want to tell you, thank you. Keep up the good work, and I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Yeah, listen, the guy's got it together. He's getting his body right. He's getting his finances right. He says, maybe I want to get married, maybe not. Listen, I wouldn't advise getting married in America. Go overseas for that. Last call of the day. Area code 505. You're on live with the 7. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So my name is Aaron. I'm calling from New Mexico. So I got a question about, I was listening to you guys talk about how many women you should probably sleep with before you start trying to like tame girls. And so my situation is I've just made very bad decisions in terms of like finding women. Like I go to a tech school and there's no girls there, but I'm about to graduate with a master's of science in engineering and I have no student debt. I have no debt, but I have no money. So like what do I do to start maximizing my ability to meet girls and, you know, do that whole laws of averages thing?
How old are you? How old are you?
Get as many encounters as you can.
Hold on. How old are you?
25.
25. The first thing you need to start.
25.
Right. The first thing you need to do, forget about girls. Listen, if a girl throws the pussy at you, by all means, fuck her with a condom. Listen, I'm telling you right now, you will not start to hit your stride for at least another decade. Okay. You will start that momentum if you save money and you get into great shape. At 25 years old, you have the energy and the testosterone to be ripped. Create habits that are conducive to an elite physique. Save your money. All you need to do, you have a great degree. All you need to do, stack money, okay, and lift weights. And when you are 35 years old, you will literally be beating off these 18 and 19-year-old chicks with a stick. Anybody else?
I got one where he can make some easy paper. Make some easy paper, become a and fuck all at the same time, young man. All you got to do is start learning how to, on the side. Now, there's a side business. Learn how to be a masseuse, okay? On the side. And if you learn how to be a masseuse on the side, I'm not laughing, young man. I'm serious. You start doing that, that's going to get you sex. It's going to get you high-class women. It's going to get you and it put you in a gigolo lifestyle because a lot. And if y'all got to watch The Chi. I don't know if everyone saw the movie The Chi on Showtime, but they talked about this a few weeks ago. That the women look and pass cards around of male masseuses to give them that stress-free relief kick that when they're having a stressful day, I know Mr. Jap or Lucario, you know, have you met Solo 84?
10 seconds.
So what I'm saying is if you want to do it in a way where you show some value, you get paid, you fuck, you meet women and give your lifestyle, look to doing that on the side, brother.
Thank you for using Blog Talk.
I can add something to that real quick.
One thing about that guy, he doesn't realize his actual value.
No. 25, he's not cool.
But he has to. But I want to break it down for him. If you got out of college with an engineering degree and you have no debt, you have to compare yourself to a person who got out of college with the same degree that you have with that same debt. So if that person has that debt on credit, you actually have that particular value of money built inside of you. So now you're out and about, you're moving around, and you're free to make money, not to pay anyone back. The only thing that you should fear is hoes and raw pussy. That is the only thing that is going to be a setback. And it's funny and everything, but raw pussy is the thing that destroys all men of value. Yep. If you continuously become fierce, I'm sorry, not fierce, but you have a strong fear, and you're scared of raw pussy, that's a good thing. Wear your condom because it's going to protect your finances and your lifestyle in the end. Keep these bitches in recreation. Don't listen to, I'm on the pill and everything like that, because you don't see the value in you. But I know these hood red booger wolf hoes go out to choose a motherfucker like you who is wet behind the ears, and they love to see the potential in a motherfucker like you because you got child support payment written all over your face and you got alimony written all over your face, because if you get addicted to raw pussy, you're out of the game.
I can add to that real quick, man. Just, brother, you got to understand that the volume is your friend. You got to source girls from all kinds of things. You got to go. I don't know if the bars in New Mexico are open, but you got to go out to bars. You got to online dating, social circle, day game. All these things are going to help you stack your funnel so that when you meet girls, you don't have that scarcity mindset and you're not over investing in interactions. I made a YouTube video on this about why you need to work a lot of volume to get girls. It's on my YouTube channel. But yeah,
Yeah.
So I don't want to take up too much time. I know we got a lot of people.
Subscribe to Myron's YouTube channel, man. This shit is fire. Uber Colt with the $20 super chat says, great show, guys. Chuck Wise with the $10 super chat says, what are your top 10 dating rules you run on girls? I know, no talk back, don't curse at me. I need more no-nos that you run on your girls. We're running short on time, so I'm going to go around the panel, and I want you guys to tell me your number one deal breaker characteristic in terms of girls. Steve.
Respect.
Okay, so if a girl can't respect you, she's up out of there.
I won't fall in love. I want to fall in respect. I don't want to fall in love. I want to fall into respect.
Listen, that's very important. Chuck Wise, you cannot have a woman's love if you do not have her respect. Make her fall in respect with you, and she will fall in love with you. Well said, Steve. Lucario.
Yeah, it's just basic cooperation. I need that's a very important. If there's no cooperation, I don't even need to be dealing with you at all. So that's what it is for me. You know what I'm saying? Be
compliant. Myron.
She's got to, I mean, again, just reiterating what the two other brothers said, Steve and Lucario, she's got to be able to defer to your authority, which is derived from respect, and she's got to look at you as the leader and not question your authority. When she questions your authority, that's when problems arise.
You know it. Jeff, what you got?
Man, it's, again, Steve let it off. I mean, respect, authority, cooperation, and I'm big on tradition. I like a woman to know her role.
Woo!
To never ever try to even attempt to try to be a man, because God blessed me to be a man. God kicks these bitches in the pussy once a month to let them know that you are never gonna be a man. So I just understand that listen, if you're a man, this alpha shit, man, be proud every day and wear this shit. Because these bitches are trying it. I can do what you can. You cannot do
that.
And you're going to get kicked in the pussy every month, the same day. And your shit's going to be leaking motherfucking ragu. Just so you will know that you're a motherfucking woman.
All right. I don't really got to follow up with that. Solo, what is your number one deal breaker characteristic or habit?
Yeah, I mean, cooperation is definitely number one, right?
Okay.
Look, guys, before you get hired onto any company, what do? They do an interview, right? My company, we do something known as SBO interview, situational behavior outcome. So if there's a situation, you got to be able to say what was the behavior you did and what was the outcome. So the reason I use that is when you get to a company, right, Donovan, they have the rule book of things that you can't do. And part of the rules say what they want you to do, what the qualifications are for the job, what makes you qualify, because obviously they put you on the job if you get hired, right?
Right.
This is the same thing when you're dealing with a woman, okay? What makes her qualified to be part of your company? Is she going to follow your program or not? And this is where a lot of guys mess up, Donovan, when they say, oh, a girl flaked on me. What should I do? Or this girl didn't text me back. It's all about cooperation. If you get that cooperation, 90% of your issues with women don't exist. Facts.
Bingo.
Just to add to that, remember, guys, this: hire slow, fire fast. Just that's how you do it.
All right. That's right.
Hire slow, fire fast.
Give a lot more. Take a lot more than you give.
Hold up. Somebody said number 2 for solos know how to make eggs. I don't think number 2 is that, but yeah, cooking is definitely in the top 10. Facts. Let's put that up there.
I think that's number 1 for Solo. Personally, I think eggs is number 1. I think he's rotten. Listen, my number 1 deal breaker characteristic is that she can't be a feminist. She can't be a feminist. If she's a feminist, you already know she's going to be disagreeable. She's going to be masculine. She's not going to stay in pocket. She's going to talk out of the side of her neck. So, Chuck, hopefully those will satisfy your top 10 dating rules. Unique 79 with the 5 British pounds at Fire Panel on tonight. Salute to my fellow kings. Thank you very, very much for that. And then Jerome. According to big 100.
Woo! Jerome.
And you gentlemen,
thanks, bro.
What it means to be a man. I never received this information years ago, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Salute. Jerome, guess what, man? You're only 38. Dude, a 38-year-old man is equal to a 21-year-old woman, dude. You have many, many years, man. You are directly in the prime of your life. Keep watching this stuff, man. Your life will get better. We greatly appreciate that super chat. MS81, $5 says, thank you guys for teaching men to take control of their own destination in life. Abso-fucking-lutely. Dirty Dick Rodney says, make Raw Box great again. I don't think Jeff's going to sign off on that.
Hey, but that's one of my fans today.
That's funny as shit. Technomage B5, $5. He says, find and vet a woman whose goals and how to attain them are close to the same as yours, and the fights are minimal in the first place. The resulting peace of mind equals priceless. Totally agree. 100%. That is the comment of
Got to be coachable.
Dude, got to be coachable, got to be trainable. Freelance Ronan, $5 super chat says, you all are preaching. Drop it into the collection plate. And with that, that is going to be the end of this episode of The 7. Like I said, it's not staying up on this channel. You might find it on one of these other guys' channels. I'm going to put
Local King Chronicles.
What's that? Oh, no. I try to do that every other week. I don't want to wear it. I don't want to. Yeah, I got to hold it back a little bit.
We need to get Jab to tell one of his Ratchet Hood stories, though. That'd be fun, too.
Oh, my God.
Jab got a couple of those, man.
Listen, we'll be here all day, and I got food waiting on me downstairs. RAP.
I gotta eat.
Listen, last question of the day. RAP with the $5 super chat says, could I hear you guys' opinions on what you consider a quality woman? Currently 21 and have only dated once and haven't given up the goods.
Tell her to stop lying first.
You know what I'm saying? I'll put it like this. Assuming that you are telling the truth, you're on the right track. Listen, a 21-year-old virgin doesn't really need to do much more than to protect the Terry. That's it. Listen, dude, a 21-year-old girl. I'll put it to you this way. I'll put it to you like this. If a girl can keep it on the road, all the girl needs to do, all females need to do, don't lose your virginity. Don't start smoking. Don't start drinking. Don't get any tattoos or any crazy piercings. You do those things, and you have a lottery ticket. If you really are a 21-year-old virgin, then guess what? The right man will find you. I can guarantee that.
Yeah, I just want to tell her you got to do a few things. First off, start watching Little House on the Prairie and start watching some old TV shows where women were women, or the Cosby Show, number one. Also, get in the kitchen and learn how to cook.
Learn how to serve.
Right, submit.
Learn how to serve.
Right, submit, serve, sex, know your place at the table, and know when to shut the fuck up. As long as you know how to do those things, and remember, you're going after his name and his ring, so you've got to show him why he even should give you those things, young lady.
I just want to add something real quick. I don't believe her because whatever. But anyway, the whole thing is this.
Listen, that's why she's assuming she's telling the truth.
Yeah. But you know what? I'll give her the benefit of that. I'll say this. Assuming you're not lying about that, don't listen to Cardi B. Don't listen to the Little Kim or fucking Nicki Minaj. Like all these like celebrities that like glorify being promiscuous. Yeah. Don't do that shit. Like it's really gonna.
The truth.
You know what I'm saying?
Like me at Minister Jap. And bring your virgin ass to the church so we can lay hands.
But yeah, that's what I would say. Don't listen to these role models, man. That's what kills a lot of girls, man. Like looking at Cardi B as like a role model and shit like that will fuck you up, man.
Let us be your role model. Let these guys on the panel be your role model.
There you go. Right. Listen to us. The one piece of advice that I can give her is watch out for women who are older than you giving you the wrong advice, okay?
Facts.
You're going to listen. Facts. Again, assuming you're telling the truth, if you know women, if you're friends with women who are 26, 28, 30, 32, they're all hoes. They are going to encourage you to give up the good so that you are as miserable as they are and to even the playing field. Because right now, your value is as high as it's ever going to be. They understand that. And listen, and don't you think for one second that women wouldn't sabotage each other just to spite you. Women hate women who are like you. Women do not like 21-year-old virginal women because you have what they wish they had. That's what it comes down to. Do not take advice from women, ever. Do not let these bitches derail your Yeah,
facts.
Kill me, man. Okay, real quick, before we go off the air, I want you guys to type in the name of the guy who deserves the chef's hat. Tonight's nominees are Lucario, Solo TV 84, and Myron Gaines. I'm going to give you guys 20 seconds. 20 seconds to type in the name. 20 seconds to type in the name. And while I'm waiting for everybody to fill this in, REP, another piece of advice I would give you is grow your hair. Do never. The only time you need to cut your hair is if you are taking out the split ends. Men do not like women with short hair. We'll fuck them every once in a while, but we're not really thinking about anything past a short-term relationship. We got one for, we got Myron, Solo, Myron, We got 3 for Myron, 1 for Solo, 1 for wait, hold on.
This was a great show today, though. Seriously.
Yeah, this was dope.
Wow.
I think one of
Thank you for all the super chats, guys. Like, you guys don't understand. We really appreciate the support, man.
Incredible.
So thank you.
Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate
All you guys. Thank you very much, chat room.
Thank you, guys, because all the super chats will help me buy more eggs. So I'm gonna make some eggs after this.
I'm just trying to buy condoms off of Amazon.
Well, it looks like Myron is the clear winner of the chef.
Hey, with everybody, I got one thing. With everybody voting for me, thank you so much. I'm gonna have Jordan Reed on my channel tomorrow, guys. We're gonna do an interview. The NFL player. We're gonna do an interview on our come up.
Whoa. Jordan,
Yeah.
the fucking tight end for the Redskins, Jordan Reed?
Yeah, he's a childhood friend of mine.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yeah, so we're gonna do the interview tomorrow at 4 p.m. Definitely tune in, guys. It's gonna be a good time. Thank you so much for the support. And
that's
yeah.
dope.
Holy mother, dude! I had no fucking clue, man. Jordan Reed, I think, just recently retired because of concussions. Am I wrong?
No. He's a free agent right now.
Oh, okay, all right. Hey, listen, he's a beast for the Redskins. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, Unplugged Fitness is my YouTube, guys. Subscribe, and I don't want to plug my shit too much.
No, but that's
check me out, and it'll be tomorrow 4 p.m. Eastern.
I'm gonna go around the room, and I want give us all where we can find you, what projects you're working on, and so forth. Steve, start it off.
First off, thank you guys. Go to themanmindset.com. We have a free dating chat. We have a dating chat line with women on there right now, guys. For my advanced guys, we have cooking shows, dating shows, and we have a free starter kit for anybody that's ready to learn. Thank you, Donovan, and the panel, especially those that are listening and super chatted.
Jack, next because your laptop is low on batteries. What you got, man?
Hey, man. Yeah, man. I just want to thank y'all for having me on, man. If you get a chance, go see me on Instagram. This is Jappa, ministerjap.com. Visit my channel, the Minister Jap channel. Patreon as well. We got a lot of exclusive banned from YouTube videos over there. A lot of collabs. I mean, all these brothers, we've done work. I got to do some work with Myron too, man. We about to get.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump on Mr. Jap's channel too. Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we definitely gonna link it in, man. But I definitely appreciate y'all having me on the panel.
Good shit, man. Lucario.
Yeah. So guys, make sure you go to badboymembership.com. That's where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. So make sure you go to badboymembership.com. Also, make sure you guys go to MrLucario.com. That's my main site. And also make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at @RealMrLucario. All right.
Very good. Yeah, I just put his Instagram handle in the chat. Be sure to follow him on Instagram. Subscribe to his YouTube and his Twitter. Solo.
Yeah, you guys can check me out on YouTube, Solo TV 84. Also, if you want to see raw uncut interviews where I interview some of these thoughts that we're talking about. One girl admitted to her body count. I won't mention it here, but www.patreon.com/SoloTV84. That's www.patreon.com/SoloTV84. If you want to see Social Circle game behind the scenes, just check me out on Instagram at SoloTV84. You can also see me make eggs. Shout out to Dev for voting. Facts.
Absolutely. Myron, I'm going to come to you one more time. Everybody wants to know what time you're going to have Jordan Reed on your channel tomorrow.
So it's going to be 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, guys. We're going to talk about our childhood, how we grew up. We grew up in the same town, New Britain, Connecticut, and he ended up doing his thing, and I did my thing, and we just started. We've been talking, but we were talking about this for a while. So we're going to talk all that stuff. Him at the Gators, all that stuff. And then my YouTube channel is Unplugged Fitness. You can search Unplugged Fit; it'll still come up. My Instagram, same thing, Unplugged Fit. Website, unpluggedfit.com. You can book a consultation with me there. I'm a fitness coach, guys. So if you want to get in shape, that's my specialty. But I also my YouTube channel is also fitness and dating stuff. And obviously, I'm going to be doing collabs with all the gentlemen on this panel because I love everything they say, and I love the fact that this is not an echo chamber where everyone has differing opinions. But at the end of the day, we're giving you guys advice that you can take based on your circumstance and apply it best to you. So 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. I'll be out with Jordan Reed live. And
okay, good, man. That is going to be great. I'm not on the air tomorrow. So I'll definitely be tuning in to Myron Gaines.
Thank you, Donovan.
That is going to do it for this episode of The Seven. Like I said, I'm taking this off of YouTube right now. I'm going to send the guys the link to the YouTube video, right? Maybe you'll find it on their YouTube channels, maybe their Patreon. This is going to be on my Patreon page tomorrow, both the audio and the video versions. Gentlemen, this has been an unbelievable broadcast. We will see you guys all back here